various exposures that we are trying to give to our students in these 5 years of their life in law school. We have a vibrant bullying culture here. Students are given an opportunity to practice, to hone their skills in the moot court or arrangements where they come and do practices for preparing for their competitions, whether they go out and participate. They are mentored by their respective teachers in these moot court as a part of the moot facilities. Speak with honesty, think with sincerity, and act with humility. That's what I have always believed in, and I hope we will be able to take forward the vision and mission of this law school in the days to come.
Transitioning from high school to college is typically marked by feelings of anxiety, uneasiness, and just an overall coming of age sensation. For me, particularly, whenever I used to think about going to college, uneasiness would basically run down to this time. However, once I joined the North University, I felt as though my negative emotions really translated into rather positive ones. Particularly owing to two conditions. The first one was the orientation process, which, contrary to most people's opinions, it didn't really last in a period of 1 week or a month. Instead, I feel like it was lasting throughout my life actually well. We were really growing from the values that this profession requires for us. Alongside the faculty, we were really warm and facilitated our transition into education.
University is situated amongst the technology hub of Gurugram, very close to Udyog Vihar. So collaborations with industry, ease of getting internships, inviting industry experts for projects and mentorships of students is what sets the university aside from those which are located at the outskirts of the NCR.
Sir? सर ये रोटेट करने पे ये आ रहा है
फ्रंट में करना पड़ता है और ये लगेगा
ये तो लगेगा ही
नहीं ये बोल जाएगा
motion-enabled video cameras and double large-size screens at the front and back of the room for comfort viewing.
सर एक बार मैम को बुला लाऊं? ये ऐसे होना चाहिए।
पर ये ऐसे नहीं होता है।
सर एक बार ऐसे पकड़ के सर एक बार मैम को बुला लाऊं मैं?
किस मैम को?
वो जहाँ से ये ट्राइपॉड लिया था मैम ने मेरे को बताया था, उन्होंने का प्रॉब्लम हो तो बता देना। सर अभी चल रही है लाइव।
ऐसे लेके चल रहे हो या फ्लैट लेके चल रहे हो?
फ्लैट तो लॉक है इसमें अभी,
हैं?
लॉक है इसमें।
अनलॉक का तो गेट
इससे होता है।
किसने दिया ये? हैं?
ये तो स्टूडेंट लेके आया वो लिंक में।
नहीं, लिंक लेके आए ना। ऐसे ऐसे यूज़ करने में क्या दिक्कत है? ऐसे यूज़ करने में क्या दिक्कत है?
ओरिएंटेशन इज लॉक।
है क्या?
रोटेट करो।
ऐसे ही लगाओ ना, ऐसे नहीं लगाना है सर, वैसे ही लगाना है।
इसको डाल कैसे रहो? अच्छा सीधा लेके चल रहे, सीधा लेके चल रहे ना।
इस तरीके से लगाना है सर। यू नो
रोटेट करना है इसको। अभी लाइव तो नहीं है ना?
लाइव है। इसको बाहर निकालो। अभी सर ने वो निकाल। इसको सर ऐसे लगाना है।
एक मिनट, अब
हाँ।
कैसे लगाना है?
इस तरीके से, ताकि स्ट्रेट वे में जाए लाइव। अभी दीपक सर ने लगाया नहीं था।
नहीं नहीं, ये तो लग जाएगा।
हाँ, लगा दीजिए इसको। बट यू नो इसको लाइव अभी यू शुड हैव गॉन।
4-5 मिनट ही थे।
नहीं सर, जब तक आए नहीं ना लोग तब तक नहीं जाए। अब इसको इस तरीके से कर लो।
अभी इसको लॉक करो इसको। ये भी लॉक होगा ना?
हाँ बस। इसी तरीके से हैंडल करना है इसको। थोड़ा बस जैसे कम बस इसको रोटेट ही करना, ज़्यादा नहीं करना है। फोन इज अटैच्ड प्रॉपर्ली, still keep a check, sit nearby, you have to keep a check। ठीक है ना? लाइव है, ज़्यादा वो कुछ टेंशन नहीं। ठीक है, ऑल द बेस्ट।
चेक रिकॉर्ड कर लेंगे। आई कैन असाइन वन ऑफ माई स्टूडेंट टू डू रिकॉर्डिंग्स। आपको फ़ोन पे रिकॉर्ड करना है। आप अपना फ़ोन उनको दे दीजिए, फिर जल्दी उनको रिकॉर्डिंग। 1 मिनट की तो हो गया, 1 या 2 मिनट की परफॉर्मेंस। एंड इट इज शिफ्ट टू शिफ्ट। सच ये 2 मिनट के लिए ऊपर जाएंगे, वो इनका जब रिकॉर्डिंग होगा ऑडियो वो प्ले करने के लिए, तब तक तुम रिकॉर्डिंग करेंगे। गुड मॉर्निंग मैम, आपको फ़ोन दे देंगे जस्ट रिकॉर्ड।
सर आप
Good morning. We are about to begin shortly. I request all the students to put their phone on silent and ensure that there is less movement in and out of the hall during the session is going on. Thank you.
लाइव क्योंकि पेरेंट्स मांग रहे हैं काफ़ी और उनको लिंक ही नहीं। अरे तू यूट्यूब खोल के लाइव करके लिंक शेयर कर देंगे।
मेरा फ़ोन नंबर लाइट कर गूगल फ़ोन
कौन सा ये वाला? ठीक।
सर यूनिवर्सिटी का नेट वो हो गया डिस्कनेक्ट। मेरा तो चल रहा है सर। अगर ये वो हो गया तो
स्विच ऑन ऑफ तो हो जाएगा
वो हाँ वो लाइव दोबारा हो जाएगा ना, तो दोबारा कनेक्ट करना पड़ेगा कॉलेज का, तो क्योंकि अभी तो मेरा चल रहा है। अगर वो खत्म हो गया तो फिर वो करना पड़ेगा। अभी मैंने कनेक्ट किया था वो डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया।
हेलो मैम।
ठीक है ना?
A very good morning, everyone, to this gathering of erudite members, Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam, esteemed speakers of the event, my seniors and colleagues at the university, principals, teachers and staff of the unit school, academic counselors, parents, students and participants who have joined us online. I, Dr. Seep Sethi, on behalf of the management, faculty and staff at the School of Management and Liberal Studies, the North Carolina University, extend a very warm welcome to you all to our beautiful campus. As teacher and parents, we are all concerned about the growth, well-being and safety of our students and children in this digital environment. Parenting has never been easy, and parenting in the digital world is proving to be among one of the greatest challenges faced by parents and families. To add to this challenge, outbreak of global pandemic shifted work, school, college and social events to online spaces, further increasing the screen time of students and kids. I myself am a mother of a 6-year-old and I'm constantly worried not only about the increased screen time of my daughter, but also with the quality of content she's consuming through the day and how it is impacting her young mind. I'm often in dilemma. What should I do? Should I be a content police and approve of what she's watching? Or should I educate her to handle it well? I'm sure many of you will resonate with that feeling of anxiety and stress of being a parent in digital world with me. It would be true to say that the youngsters and children today are experiencing their youth and adolescent in a very different form than that of their parents. In a world where children and youth are growing up digital, parents cannot afford to remain passive spectators as the digital world unfolds. They must become an active and alert participants in order for their children to thrive in the new era while being protected from the potential dangers of it. It is in this backdrop that the School of Management and Liberal Studies, the Non-Cap University, has took the modest endeavor to organize an expert talk on the changing role of parents in the digital world, where a distinguished panel of experts will help you handle your work's responsibility sensitively in these critical times. As Indians, we invoke the Lord's blessing before each and every endeavor that we undertake. Today, setting sail to this memorable event, I request our dignitaries, Honorable Vice Chancellor Ma'am, Dr. Aruna Broota Ma'am, Dr. Jitendra Nagpal Sir, Aditi Ma'am, Dr. Sona Vikas Ma'am, and Anubhuti Bhatnagar Ma'am to kindly come forward for the lamp lighting ceremony. Thank you, everyone. And now we have the performance by the members of the NGO, Neo Fusion Creative Foundation. The team will be performing on Shiv Stuti. May I request the members of the NGO, Neo Fusion Creative Foundation to join us for the performance?
Why?
रोटेट वो ओरिएंटेशन लॉक्ड है.
कोई बात नहीं, इसको ऐसे रोटेट करो. इसको कैसे रोटेट करेंगे? खोल तो कौन होगा तो. middle school block. There's no option. ऐसे ही रखना. Straight ही रखना पड़ेगा. मैंने कर चुकी हूँ
New Fusion and its founder, Dr. Aditi Misra, for such a mesmerizing performance. Rational and objective thinking, an ability to guide, motivate, lead students and faculty righteously is a rare yet great combination. And I feel honored to introduce a personality exemplifying this discussion. A person whose strong conviction, clear vision, and motivational advice never cease to amaze us. She's none other than our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Ma'am, Dr. Nupur Prakash. With over 3 decades of rich academic and research experience, Ma'am has served as the Vice Chancellor of the Indira Gandhi Technical University for Women, Principal for Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Dean School of Engineering and Technology, and Dean School of IT, Gurugram in the Nebraska University, prior to joining the North Cap University. Ma'am is a BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering and a Master's in Computer Science and Technology from IIT Roorkee, where she received the Chancellor's Medal for being the most outstanding student. Ma'am pursued her PhD in Artificial Intelligence from Punjab University and has published and presented more than 100 research papers and articles in national and international journals and conferences. She has been a strong propagator of STEM education for girls and has won many accolades, including the Inspiring Women Edu Leader in 2014, 22nd Devang Mehta Business School Award for Outstanding Contribution to Education, and several other laurels. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. May I now request Dr. Sonal Vikas, ma'am, to welcome ma'am with a bouquet. Ma'am, may I now request you to kindly come join us and deliver the welcome speech. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good morning to all. I welcome all the dignitaries, principals, teachers from different schools of Gurugram and Delhi, guests to the North Cap University, to this event organized by the School of Management and Liberal Studies on the topic, Changing Role of Parents in the Digital World. It is a matter of great pride and privilege to have eminent personalities like Dr. Aruna Broota, a globally acclaimed psychologist and parenting expert amongst us today. We are also very happy to welcome Dr. Jitendra Nagpal, Program Director, Expressions India, Senior Psychiatrist and Consultant, Moolchand Hospital, and Ms. Aditi Misra, Director Principal, DPS, Gurugram, to our campus. I am very glad that the School of Management has chosen this topic for today's panel discussion, as the theme is very relevant and apt. Raising children in the era of digital technology is really a challenging task for new age parents and also for the teachers who face many challenges while handling and teaching students in the post-COVID era. Before we listen to our eminent panelists for their views on parenting in the digital age, I would like to give you a brief introduction about the North Cap University, which was founded in 1996 as the Institute of Technology and Management. The ITM Institute was always known for imparting quality technical education in the field of engineering and management since its inception. In 2010, ITM was upgraded to a multidisciplinary private university offering world-class education in the field of engineering applied sciences, management, liberal arts, law, and legal studies. And it was re-christened as the North Cap University in 2015. During the last 25 years, we have produced more than 11,000 alumni who are gainfully employed in various Indian and multinationals, and also serving the nation in different capacities. We have an enrollment of around 3,500 students on this 10-acre campus, and recently we have been awarded with an A grade by National Assessment and Accreditation Council. Thank you. We also were awarded with a 4-star rating by an international rating agency, QS, and a platinum rating for School of Engineering and Technology by QS iGauge. iGauge is a parameter, it's a barometer which actually assesses different Indian universities on different parameters local to the country. We got a gold rating for School of Management as well as for School of Law by QS iGauge. We are offering 20 different programs ranging from BA in Psychology, BA English, BA Economics, as well as MA Psychology from this year onwards. Along with that, we have many professional programs like BTech, MTech, MCA, BCA, MBA, BBA, BCom, and some of our most sought after programs are in the field of financial markets, business analytics, digital marketing, and family business. We have the state-of-the-art lab infrastructure for all our students with multiple international tie-ups with prestigious universities in US, Japan, Canada, and Europe. Our flagship Computer Science and Engineering program offers specializations in the area of cloud computing, AI and ML, cybersecurity, augmented reality, virtual reality, full stack development, IoT, and 5G technologies. Around 200 plus companies visit our campus every year, and almost 95% students are placed year after year. I am very happy that today the School of Management and Liberal Studies has organized this event, and I would like to compliment Dr. Preeti Chawla, Dr. Akshat Aditya Rao, and the head School of Commerce and Liberal Studies for organizing this event, and also for convincing such eminent speakers and luminaries to visit our campus and enlighten our students on a very relevant topic. So with this, I would like to once again thank my guests as well as parents and the eminent speakers who have taken time out of their busy schedule and graced this event and are going to give you the pearls of wisdom on the role of parents in the changing times of digital age. Thank you very much, and I hope that during this panel discussion you all learn a lot and take back new learnings and new information created during these discussions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for setting the context of the session today. Dr. Sona Vikas has more than 24 years of experience in industry and academics. She's a PhD from IP University Delhi, a university topper and gold medalist during post-graduation. Ma'am has to her credit more than 100 research papers in international and national journals, edited books, and conference proceedings. She has been an author of 6 edited books and is also a master trainer for ICP's CSR certificate program. Ma'am has been conducting trainings for corporates, teachers, and senior students at various colleges and schools in Delhi and NCR. She has invited She has been invited as a speaker and resource person at several national level platforms to deliver sessions in diverse areas. Ma'am, may I now request you to kindly introduce our eminent speakers of the events. Thank you.
Very good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be standing here and introducing our eminent speakers. It gives me goosebumps because they come with a combined experience I think none of us can match up with. And I am very honored that they have accepted invitation on behalf of the North Cap University to grace this occasion here today. We had received a huge response when we started sharing the invitations to the schools, to the parents, and we are fortunate that a lot of them have joined online also, not only from Delhi NCR but also across the country. Our first esteemed speaker is a globally acclaimed psychologist, parenting expert, Dr. Aruna Broota ma'am. I had the opportunity to meet her first in 2010 when I was doing a certification course in behavioral testing, and she was one of the experts there. Believe me, it's been only a couple of interactions with her, and she's a learning pillar herself, with whom you interact for 5 minutes and she gives you the lessons for life. Formally, I would like to share with you, she's a trained psychologist, acclaimed mental health expert, revered people transformation expert, a highly sought after employee engagement expert, not only in schools, colleges, corporates, and she has more than 4 decades of experience. Her numerous scientific research breakthroughs, popular publications, well-attended group motivation training sessions, regular public counseling over radio, TV, print media, and successful individual counseling practice makes her a uniquely experienced mind-muscle personal power expert whose vast experience continues to get better as she strives to keep people happy and better in simple, common sense ways. Driven by her mission to unlock the many secrets of mind transformation, ma'am has been demystifying everyday success paths for common people, and she consistently strives stellar success across her varied interventions and consultations. She has been a consultant in renowned national and multinational organizations like Indian Oil, HPCL, Indian Airlines, Alliance Air, NCRT, CBSC, All India Management Association, MDI, Tihar Jail, Remand Homes, Family Counseling Center. It's a CV of more than 10 pages, and we have tried to do justice in a few words to sum up her extensive experience. But she has been instrumental in the area of compassionate handling of child-adult disorders, life disaster management, and superior crisis handling, harnessing divine powers and universe's well wishes. Ma'am, we are beyond honored to have you here with us today, and thank you so much for being a part of our session. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, ma'am, to please welcome ma'am with a bouquet. Thank you, ma'am. Our second esteemed speaker is Dr. Jitendra Nagpal. He is the Program Director, Country of Expressions India, a very senior psychiatrist, Institute of Mental Health and Life Skills Promotion, New Delhi, Senior Consultant Mental Health at Moolchand Hospital. I had the opportunity to meet sir in 2018 at another event, and he speaks few words, but they are very, very impressive and impressionable. And I have had that experience of interacting with him. The way he creates an impression on others, it is still long-lasting as far as I am concerned. Sir is a psychiatrist and treating issues related to mental health and its various dimensions. I have also heard that during the pandemic, his workload had increased tremendously, and it's kudos that you are able to balance yourself in a disbalanced world. Sir conducts stress management sessions for various multinationals and corporates. He's a regular columnist and consultant on leading national media, both print and electronic, Doordarshan, CNN, IBN, Times of India Group, India Today, Hindustan Times. Sir's expertise includes adolescent adjustment, alcoholism and substance abuse, anxiety and disorders, autism spectrum disorders, bipolar disorders, learning disabilities with children, seasonal affective disorder. He has had several awards which have been given to him in his long tenure of more than three decades. Excellence Award for School Healthy Heart Initiatives in India. He has been also awarded through NCERT. He was a coordinating member in various expert committees and the advisory group to the Child Mental Health Committee, National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, New Delhi. Sir, we are very honored to have you here with us. We thank you for consenting to be part of our expert talk. May I request Dr. Manoj Gopalia, sir, Dean Academics, to please welcome him with a bouquet. Thank you, sir. Our next speaker may not need introduction because our children have been studying in her school. Some of the parents are already here. Some of them have specially written that because ma'am is coming, we would love to be here on the campus. And ma'am, we have known, my daughter studied in the school since the very few years. She has just finished her 12th standard. So her presence has been extended not only to the personal but also to the professional life. Meeting ma'am not only during some of the events, but she is a figure on her own. Ma'am is the Director Principal for DPS Gurugram with more than 35 years of experience as a career educator and alumnus of DPS Puram and Lady Shri Ram College. She has been mentoring a lot of DPSs across the country, the Sarvodaya schools, and she's serving as an educator at DPS since 2001. Born in Lucknow, she was initially schooling in different schools across the country, with ma'am's father being in the army. Her last 7 years of schooling were in DPS Puram, and she pursued her graduation in history from LSR in 1982 and a post-graduation in the same from Delhi University. She was more and more determined about following in heart and becoming a teacher. She has received the Teachers Award from CBSE and has been a master trainer for CBSE as well. She continues to train educators to the Center of Excellence of CBSE. Ma'am has authored and ideated several books for school children. She is passionate about classical Indian music, dance and reading. A key member of the National Progressive School Conference, she has been mentoring not only the students, parents, teachers, but also the schools themselves. We welcome you, ma'am, to our campus. We are very privileged to have you here with us today, and thank you for accepting your invitation. I request HOD Applied Sciences, Dr. Hukum Singh, to please welcome ma'am with a bouquet. Thank you, sir and ma'am. And now I would like to hand over the dais to our speakers, Aditi ma'am, Dr. Broota, Dr. Nagpal. If you can join us on the stage, please.
बिल्कुल सबसे आगे
लाइव करना है ना।
एक बार पीछे गया
Raise your hands, parents. Just the parents. Yes. Oh my God. You must be a grandparent. I'm a grandparent. You are a grandparent. You are a parent. Yeah? And the rest are what? Counselors. Raise hands, counselors.
of BA psychology.
Okay. And are there students here? I have to think twice what I talk. Because I can't talk to parents in front of the students. Isn't it? Shall we start? Dr. Sona?
Very good morning to everybody here. Nice motley crowd of students, parents, counselors, educators, everyone together. So now this is going to be no bars hold. Okay. So I always say one thing. The two important roles out of the many important roles. You know, we are individuals in our own right, but we have many roles. We have the role of a friend, a son or a daughter, a parent, a grandparent, a teacher, a spouse, a parent. Now, out of all these, the two roles which, in my opinion, are very important, but we don't talk about them at all, is of being a spouse. Yes? Yes. No school, no college teaches you how to be a good spouse, and of being a good parent. So I'm very glad North Cap University has made a beginning by telling these young people, young students, what this role of parenting means. So whether maybe we'll get inputs from them with regard to what parenting style is in their home, and maybe they will go back with some learning which they will come and put in use maybe a decade from now when they are parents. I'm one of those very optimistic types. So when it comes to parenting, what do most parents do? Is it confusing? Confused parenting? Raise your hand. Sometimes confusion, what should we do, what should we not do? So the one thing I think all three of us will agree that the traditional way was a good way. Yes? We were brought up fine. We turned out okay. Are you happy with yourselves? Yes. All the parents who are here, they are happy with the way you turned out. So your parents did a good job. Let's clap for them wherever they are. That was a clap for my parents. Very, very supportive. Very supportive. But then something called tech came into our lives. This came into our lives and moved all other roles of a friend, of a spouse, of a girlfriend, of a boyfriend, of a parent, and it has changed a lot of things. So my first question to my very esteemed panel, two people who I've always held in very high regard, Dr. Jitendra Nagpal, who also runs a very effective peer education program in many schools, more than 100 schools to start with, I think. And now it's in all the CBSE schools, it's going to lakhs of schools. The peer education program is where the peers help other peers. You don't have to go to a counselor all the time, you don't have to run to an adult. Maybe the peer can help you out. And someone like Dr. Broota, who I have seen from afar, and a bridge has been built by North Cap, thank you. And now I shall be after your case also. So my first question to them is to give their opening remarks, not about parenting to begin with, but about the two very unusual years we went through from 2020 to 2022, when we were all in lockdown and we discovered a new space for ourselves called the digital space. It was very important, it was very necessary, but then now when it was over in 2022, what kind of effect has it had on children of all ages? Over to you, Dr. Broota.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. I think there are many ways to understand what happened at the lockdown period, but it's a bad example I'm going to give you, but I'll come to the nicer ones later. But the bad example was that COVID was a shock. I will share with you that I have been a bad girl because I had been telling my grandmother, "Mujhe Shiv ji अच्छे नहीं लगते." And she would tell me, you know, as you said, older parents and parenting styles, she said, "बेटा ऐसे नहीं बोलते." And I would say, हर वक्त धमकी देते हैं, मैं तीसरी आंख खोल लूँगा, प्रलय आ जाएगी, तुम लोग सब मर जाओगे, तो धमकी देते रहते हैं, इधर सांप रख के डराते रहते हैं, तो मुझे नहीं अच्छे लगते। एंड मैं उनको बोलती हूँ कि खोल लो ना तीसरी आंख, क्या है, रोज क्यों डराते हो, राइट? तो आई थिंक कि कोरोना जब हुआ तो I learned probably a reality in one way, if I were to take my religion into account, कि शिव जी ने तीसरी आंख खोल दी, because it was not just India but it was all over the globe. Similar types of stress, lockdown particularly was terrible. And terrible in what sense? I thought my grandchildren were itching to go cycling outside. Terrible in what sense? That they were dying to go to school. I think they really realized the importance of school and going to school in COVID. And then they realized कि शाम को हम पार्क नहीं जा सकते, हम अपने फ्रेंड्स को नहीं मिल सकते, and we better get used to meeting in absentia. डॉक्टर नागपाल बोलेंगे तो बड़े टेक्निकल वर्ड्स बोलेंगे, मैं तो अनपढ़ हूँ, मुझे तो आते नहीं टेक्निकल वर्ड्स, बट आई थॉट कि दिस इज व्हाट ही कॉल्स वर्चुअल, कि भाई यहाँ अपने को झुटलाते रहो कि हम मिल लिए, हम मिल लिए। पहले फोन पे मिलते रहते थे, आज विजुअल फोन है तो हम मिल लेते हैं, वो जूम हो जाता है, वो वीडियो हो जाता है, वो व्हाट्सएप वीडियो हो जाता है। बट व्हाट हैपेंड, आई डोंट नो आप लोगों ने स्पेस कैसे मैनेज करी होगी, बट my younger son had meetings on Zoom, so he needed a room. And his wife wanted to have classes on happiness, because at that time she was a counselor at Modern School, Junior Modern School. She's resigned now, but at that time, so she needed a separate room. And their elder daughter, who was at that time in 10th, was having her class, so she needed a room. And the younger one was in 8th and she needed a room. And my elder granddaughter from my other son, she was motivating me, you know, बड़ी मम्मी क्या कर रहे हो? मैंने कहा नहीं यार, अभी कोई क्लिनिक नहीं है, थोड़ा बैठने दो आराम से। तो कहने लगी व्हाट क्लिनिक नहीं है, व्हाट्सएप वीडियो किस लिए है, जूम किस लिए, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं जूम क्या होता है। At my age, you have to understand what my age is, sir. I will be older than you. बोल रही हूँ मैं आपको। I am one guy who will not feel embarrassed in giving you my age. I am a bloody 80-year-old woman, right? जब मैं यहाँ से डांट खाती हूँ तो मैं फिर जवान ही होती हूँ, मुझे लगता है शायद मैं बच्चा हूँ तभी मुझे डांट रहे हैं, बड़ों को थोड़ी डांट पड़ती है। पर क्या है, वो देखो इधर आप जब डांटते हो तब तो देखने नहीं देते, you know. So when you are 80, you don't realize that yes, it can be a Zoom meeting, it can be, you know, some other Google Meet or something you can have. So one school principal, ma'am, she rang me up and she said, ma'am, we want to have a webinar अब ये वेबिनार वर्ड, सेमिनार तो सुना था, ये वेबिनार कहाँ से आ गया? So I entered into the world of webinar and I said, मैं नहीं इसमें पार्ट ले सकती, मुझे नहीं पता मैं कैसे अपनी PPTs कैसे दिखाऊंगी, मैं क्या करूँ? वो बड़ी वाली granddaughter, she is masters in social work from Melbourne. She said, चुप करो, मत बोलो ऐसे, लोगों को मत बताओ कि आप अनपढ़ गवार हो, बोलो हाँ कर दूंगी, हाँ कर दूंगी. I'll sit next to you and then. तो उससे मेरा हाथ बैठा. But I'm least embarrassed to tell you कि आज ऊबर नहीं बुक हो रही थी. वो क्लिकी ना हो, and everybody was out of the house working. So I went downstairs and I made, where's Sona? I made that lady call up Sona and say, ये book नहीं हो रहा, ये कौन सा है, वो कौन सा है, and then these two, आपस में they decided how to book it, and then that is how I'm here. So the first thing in the pandemic I wish to say was that technology was really put into use. Not only for school children, college-going children, not only for lovers, not only for going to different obscene sites, not only for going to social sites, but people of our age started becoming familiar with technology, and that brought something common, as a common ground between each generation living together at home. Because I live with my children, they keep me around, and then my grandchildren, and then my grandson's wife and also he are there, and yes, and we all live together. But I used to think it's they and it's us. But this was something in pandemic that brought us together. But the conflict started coming from frustration. And the frustration was that in class 2, class 3, all of you would have read, man is a social animal. We never read that man is virtually a social animal. That it's going to be on machines that we will be meeting each other, right? And it became a frustration for the children. So can I go to my friend's house and spend the day? And I would say, no, you can't. You're not wearing a mask and they have a COVID in their house, so you will get the infection. Little knowing कि वो मुझे ही हो जाएगा. So I was hospitalized. The advantage of technology also, man, not the disadvantage only. The advantage was that I could speak to everybody from the hospital. Otherwise, if there's going to be a lockdown, there's going to be isolation. I don't think my emotions would have let me be normal. When the doctor kept telling my children on the phone, आज की रात काट दें, कल बताएंगे how Dr. Broota is. But the advantage was everybody could ring me up and a video call and I could see everybody. And this is the advantage. We'll talk of the disadvantages gradually when Aditi ma'am goes ahead with the program. And I'm sure you'll hear a more technical version from Dr. Nagpal.
Thank you so much. Thank you for telling us that one bright part of the pandemic, that technology kept us together.
Absolutely.
Kept us in touch with our work, kept us in touch with our families who were far away, and we could not meet for months and months on end. Over to you, Dr. Nagpal, for your perspective.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning once again to all of you. What a lovely time here. I was not so nervous sitting there with the audience. Either nervousness quotient thoda बढ़ गया मेरा. Sitting in the middle of two legends, one who's created history in the school education of India, and one side higher education, college, universities. So from toddler till scholar, PhD scholar, I think you created a generation of learners, both of you ma'ams, Aditi ma'am and Aruna ji, not only mentors for people like me, but also institutions for the country as such. I'm not praising because I'm sitting in between both of you, because I felt it, and I think आपकी बात मुझे कोरोना के टाइम में याद आती है. अब बहुत जीने की तमन्ना है और मरने का भी इरादा है. Well, that's what Corona did to all of us. Took away a lot of day-to-day reality from all of us. Brought another reality. I'm only decoding and metaphorizing what ma'am has already told you. एक stop, look and proceed का जो traffic signal approach होता है life का, I think that introspective mode to the whole 1, 2, 3 generations sitting in the family, because मुद्दा इस वक्त मैम ने कोरोना के टाइम का उठाया है, that brought in a lot of introspective mode to think about intergenerational living, which never happened. The flaws to be accepted or not to be accepted between each other, ma'am said conflict. I would say there was a discovery about certain nuances in our personality traits which all of us have. हम सब भरे हुए हैं कोई ना कोई ट्रेड्स के साथ, लेकिन ये एक अच्छा मौका था अगर हम उसको पॉजिटिवली लेते हैं. There's no doubt that a lot of consequences went on to become the post-corona observations by teachers and principals in the classrooms, which are horrendous at times. We come across a large chunk of mental health morbidity after joining back school. Ma'am has examples, anecdotes about that. But the turning point, I think as a culture, as a country, एक हमारी संस्कृति सभ्यता के लिए, though it was a virus who created the difference. I heard a child telling me recently, a peer educator, that हम सिर्फ हार्ट और ब्रेन की बात करते थे, पहली बार हमने फेफड़ों की बात करी है. लंग्स के बारे में तो हम कभी बात करते ही नहीं थे. And that is what प्राण का जो आयाम है वो हृदय को और दिमाग को देता है. At least Corona taught us to think about the lungs also. Similarly, अगर हम माँ बाप के बारे में इतनी बात नहीं करते थे रोज की भागदौड़ में, because we are taken for granted, like the fantastic performance we just saw reminded me of the codependency and interdependency of parenting between the two, the dancers and the dancer. What a fabulous talmel. Though they didn't see each other, they saw each other only once or twice, as they were saying. But I think it was beautiful home running, no? Tal kept them together. The bhav and the rag also kept them together. So this is what probably we realized during this period. We all knew about this. हम सब जानते हैं कि new millennium has been new millennium. The 21st century challenges of the digital world by itself are not new. Corona gave us a speed breaker to stop for a moment to think about the direction. You remember the famous poem by Robert Frost, The Road Less Traveled? So we probably had the fork in front of us. कि किस रास्ते पे चलना है. ये बहुत सीखने को मिला और बच्चों ने भी यही कहा. I discovered certain nuances with shock, denial and bargaining about my parents' disposition towards each other. How the grandparents' role was not only neglected but condemned. And here is a family, I remember, sir, retired एक brigadier साहब जो काफ़ी ignored और पिछड़े में रहते थे घर के बड़े मकान में. उनका रोल वापस एक रोल कॉल और एक बटालियन को समेट के रखने में कोविड के टाइम पे was so much in a celebration. So we realized that the soldier never goes away. Here is a soldier who only faded away and was brought back to the family. So this is one example and many such. So मुझे लगा कि ये एक integrated, inclusive family का मौका था और बन गया है कुछ हद तक. Secondly, I think emotional auditing family की काफ़ी हुई है. कई लोगों ने ये टर्म यूज़ किया है कि हमारे लिए it was a time to review our own sense of parenting. Whether I am right or wrong is one aspect, but also whether I am in the direction of successful and wiser parenting. The empowering parenting. The parenting that allows the child to also be a democratic decision maker of his own life. And I remember distinctly where man said, man is a social animal. I felt child is the father of the man. And also it was a time what Charles Wadsworth ने कभी शायद कहा था, if I can remember it correctly. By the time I realized that my father was right, my child is grown up enough to prove that I am wrong. And this is what many parents reported. हमें पता लगा कि हमारे पिताजी सही थे. अनुशासन, एकता, discipline, उस तरीके का non-corporal. But the fact that now I realize my little daughter, my little son tells me, Dad, I've seen you in 2 years. You're absolutely wrong. The way you deal with mom, the way you deal with grandpa. You is your world. Leave it aside. It's our world. We the world. We the people. ये बातें सुनने में बड़ा अच्छा लगा कि बच्चे खुद, and मैम के पास इतने hordes of peer educators have actually led many programs on webinars and across the country. I think to me it was a discovery of the new adolescent of India, who is a parent also, metaphorically, who is also a child and who is also a teacher. So the complete conglomerate of being a parent, a teacher and a student came in from the eyes of the child. To me it was new age parenting. So far so good.
Thank you so much. Two absolutely beautiful answers. Can we clap for them? So there's one time of our life, I think we look back with very mixed feelings. And here we have two very positive thoughts coming, that the family came together, there were emotional audits, and suddenly the child became center stage instead of the parent being the deciding factor. How we're going to run this program is I was suggesting that I'll ask a question to one of the speakers, and the other speaker can please add. Dr. Broota? And for the audience, whether it's students or parents or counselors or teachers, please take down questions if you have any. At the end of the session, we will have some type of question answers. So to Dr. Nagpal, now we talked about all the good parts of being at home and being together and staying connected. But I know as a teacher, as a parent, that children are struggling a little to come back to the offline mode. Karan Pratap will agree with me. He's heading the Haryana Progressive School, so all kinds of problems come to him from all the schools of Haryana. I think we all agree children are struggling a little. You all are older students, so maybe you are having not such a big difficulty. But there are students who are not able to come offline, whether it's an emotional issue, whether it's social, whether it's academic, whether it's purely physical. They don't want to get up. So what suggestion would you give, Dr. Nagpal, to us adults, parents and teachers, to help children make this transition? Because even after 1 year is over, we are still struggling.
Well, very briefly, I think, ma'am, if I can take the permission from you, थोड़ा सा हम COVID-19 के भी बाहर आ जाएं, because COVID-19 एक कॉमा था, full stop भी था, but धीरे-धीरे hiccups के साथ चला गया पीछे. So I think the challenge now remains in the continuity and the constancy of good parenting, and if not good, at least wiser parenting, which I have learned from man. कि good and bad कुछ नहीं होता है, उसको healthy, unhealthy या less healthy is a better term. If we, yes, absolutely. If we all agree here, I think sometimes it is okay to go back to nursery, the kindergarten for all of us. I think Colonel Pratap and we have been conversing many times on our own need to go back to kindergarten, to grow with the children, isn't it, sir? So, point number one, can we, in the best of the moments available in a day, it could be moments, need not be hours, children may not tolerate us. Can we just be the child with them rather than be the parent with them? Because seeing the world view from their viewpoint and their own do's and don'ts, I again repeat, a democratic way of rearing children rather than authoritarian or authoritative. If I remember, हिंदुस्तान में चाइल्ड राइट्स के 4 पिलर अब गवर्नमेंट ने डिक्लेयर कर दिए हैं. अगर हम कॉन्क्रीट ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में जाएं, हर बच्चा पहले सर्वाइव करना चाहिए, बिकॉज 11 लाख बच्चे अभी भी हमारे 5वां जन्मदिन नहीं देखते हैं फॉर वांट ऑफ रेस्पिरेटरी प्रॉब्लम्स, डायरियाज, इम्यूनाइजेशन, कॉम्प्लिकेशंस एंड ऑल. सो सर्वाइव. इफ आई सर्वाइव, which is now a progressive thing happening in our country, am I protected? So parents के लिए ये बात important है. हम उसको केवल physical protection जो provisions हैं वहाँ से हटकर क्या emotional protection first within the family. First within the family. You said, I'm telling you what, any form of demeanor, degradation, denigration, zero tolerance from parents. Do that. Third part, participation. Is my child participating? Aditi ma'am, Colonel Pratap sir, and some of the few principals in our country are foremost runners of this philosophy. Let the child participate in the leadership in schooling, decision making. decision making, problem solving, self-awareness, and even maybe creativity of schooling. Last part, then we are covering a 360-degree approach to development. So, कई सारे गाने हैं ना, let me survive first. Okay, then I participate and I feel protected. Even schools are looking into mental health safety now. It's not about infrastructure, buildings, disability, laboratories, washrooms. It's about emotional safety in schools. Zero tolerance to violence, bullying, drugs, whatsoever. क्या यही स्कूल जो एक फैमिली है, एक फैमिली में स्कूल बन सकता है इन्हीं बातों का? To me, that is the vision for tomorrow, which I think our great leaders, I would say, mom-like teachers have taught us. That create a future for the children where they, what Mahatma Gandhi said, where they look back after 20 years and tell us, was this the world you created for me? I'm sorry. So today, we are bound to create that world where they look back and tell us that, okay, you are fit to be the old age home. You didn't give me that future. So all these need to be there. I think the whole idea about constant patience, tolerance and better communication by the parent, sabar, sahan और संचार की जो बात है, to put it in a nutshell, I think it's the demand of the situation. And that sanchar needs to be three again. Consistent, compassionate and with a collaboration with my child. If ma'am says that हमारे teachers ये कर रहे हैं, then PTM का क्या फायदा हुआ जब ये parents ना कर रहे हों? You'll be happy to know the Government of India made the school safety guidelines October 21, incorporating partly from COVID-19. We would need Honorable Broota ma'am's comment on that. उस safety guideline में उन्होंने कोड किया हुआ है कि बच्चे चाह रहे हैं after surveys from kids, PTM का नाम बदला जाए. बताइए क्या रखा जाए? बच्चा कहता है PTM में तो मैं कहाँ हूँ बताइए? सर PTM में बच्चा तो है ही नहीं. Parent teachers meeting है ना? Then why are you calling me on that way to denigrate my report card? It should be child, parent, teacher dialogue. It is mentioned, sir, in the safety guidelines, CPTD. Call it a day of celebrating childhood, not only report card. That is where the minus points of my childhood starts. And in the lighter vein, many kids say, अगर marital discord होता है तो report card के दिन होता है. ब्लेम गेम शुरू होते हैं, तुमने देखो बच्चों का हाल क्या किया हुआ है, तुम पढ़ाती नहीं हो, मैं ही घर के लिए कमाता हूँ, तो बच्चा देखता है भाई इसके बाद डिवोर्स भी शायद फर्स्ट सैटरडे पे हो जाता है. So I mean, these are the comments what we hear from children and we sharing with you when they come to us. One child very recently, आपने पोस्ट कोविड की बात करी, 7-8 साल का है, पेरेंट्स ले आए और इत्तेफाक से जानते थे, किसी के रेफरेंस से आए थे, तो मैम वो मजाक में उसके सामने कह रहे हैं, आप बताइए डॉक्टर साहब अब तो आप ही रख लो इसको हॉस्पिटल में, हम नहीं संभाल पा रहे. तो उनको मजाक लग रहा था लाइटर वे में, तो बच्चा सर झुका के मैं सामने बैठा है और मैंने बोला चलिए आप बाहर बैठिए दोनों. तो वोकल चाइल्ड एलोकेशन में पार्ट लेता है, तो बड़े लड़खड़ा के ट्यूटी हुई इंग्लिश में मेरे से कहता है कि डॉक्टर इफ यू ट्रीट देम एवरीथिंग विल बी ओके.
बिल्कुल सही बोला. So the problem has to, somewhere I accept that maybe adults cause the problem for young children and we need to address that.
May I be allowed to add? पैंडेमिक की पहले बात चल रही थी तो मैं वहाँ पे फिर दोबारा वापस आती हूँ कि उसका जो ऑब्जर्वेशन मैंने देखी तो कोई भी पेरेंट यहाँ बुरा नहीं मनाएगा और कोई भी बच्चा इसका फायदा नहीं उठाएगा आज घर जाकर. Both ways. Because I think the youngest child in the family is the parent. That's my opinion about it. कि सबसे छोटे दो बच्चे घर में are the mummy and the papa. वो इतनी theoretical बातें, इतनी idealized बातें करते हैं कि वो भूल जाते हैं कि बच्चा है तुम्हारी तस्वीर नहीं. Because every parent is so touchy कि मेरे बच्चे को criticize मत करो, लेकिन खुद का हक है. आज देखिए टीचर्स के हाथ बांध दिए गवर्नमेंट ने कि आप इन्हें स्कोल्ड नहीं कर सकते, आप इन्हें सजा नहीं दे सकते, आप इन्हें डांट नहीं सकते, आप इन्हें जमीन पे मुर्गा नहीं बना सकते, आप इन्हें क्लास के बाहर खड़ा नहीं कर सकते, तो वो एक डिस्ट्रैक्टेड चाइल्ड ग्रो कर रहा है, तो उसको डांटोगे नहीं, समझाओगे नहीं, तो ठीक है। जैसे साइकोलॉजी कहती है रिवॉर्ड इज अ बेटर इंसेंटिव देन पनिशमेंट, आई एग्री, लेकिन कहीं कहीं बीच में थोड़ा धमकाना होता है। लेकिन आई थिंक जो रियल धमकाने की जरूरत है वो पेरेंट्स को है। पेरेंट इतना बच्चा है, ये मेरे पास आएंगे पेरेंट्स, इसे एक्सट्रोवर्ट बना दीजिए, हाँ ये क्लास में बोलता नहीं है, ये प्लेग्राउंड में खेलता नहीं है, ये टीचर को आंसर नहीं करता अगर वो कोई क्वेश्चन पूछती है, और इसका कोई दोस्त नहीं है, आप ना ऐसे कुछ करिए और इसे एक्सट्रोवर्ट बना दीजिए, ये बहुत जबरदस्त इंट्रोवर्ट है, ठीक है। तो मैंने पेरेंट्स से पूछा आप दोनों में से कौन एक्सट्रोवर्ट है? नहीं हम तो नहीं है। वाह वेरी गुड, हम नहीं है, पर इंट्रोवर्ट ये हम बनने नहीं देंगे अपने को, अपने बच्चे को। तो भाई तू पहले अपने को देख लो। सो आई से आर देयर पीपल कमिंग टू योर हाउस फॉर डिनर? नहीं हमारे घर कोई नहीं आता, हम आने ही नहीं देते, उसके बाद झगड़ा हो जाता है, कौन आएगा? नंद आएगी तो से अप्पा, और पेरेंट्स इन लॉ को हम अपनी मर्जी से ही अलग कर चुके हैं, तो अब वो आएंगे, वो टोका टाकी ऐसे करेंगे तो हमें बर्दाश्त नहीं है। मैंने कहा किसे बर्दाश्त नहीं है? सो फादर कहता है इसको बर्दाश्त नहीं है, तो वो कहती है तू आपने, तू कंपेनियन है मेरा, अगर मेरा दिल वहां पे भड़क चुका तो मैं अगर अपना दिल तेरे आगे खाली करती हूँ तो तू सुन लेना। दौड़ा दौड़ा क्यों जाता अपने माँ बाप के पास? मेरी बीवी ऐसे कह रही थी तुम्हारे बारे में, तुम ऐसे मत बोला करो। सो आई हैव ऑलरेडी प्रूव्ड दैट पेरेंट्स आर द यंगेस्ट चिल्ड्रन इन द फैमिली, एंड देयरफॉर वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड in these so-called parent-teachers meetings, वो बच्चा साथ जाता है, और बुरा नहीं मनाइएगा, टीचर्स आर नो लेस, मैम प्लीज फॉरगिव मी। पेरेंट टीचर्स मीटिंग्स में इसको मैथ्स नहीं आता, कुछ तो करो, टीचर कह रही है, वो फादर कह रहा तुझे मैथ्स नहीं आता? तेरे ट्यूटर को पकड़ूंगा मैं आज, तेरे ट्यूटर से पूछूंगा मैं, इतने पैसे लगाता हूँ। तो मनी कम्स फॉरवर्ड, the child is feeling demeaned completely because another parent is with another teacher in the same room. You're going on criticizing that child. वो हिस्ट्री टीचर के पास गया, इसको इंग्लिश तो आती नहीं, लिखता तो है नहीं, एक लाइन का जवाब देता है, 10 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है, तो कहता है जितना याद रहा उतना ही तो लिखूंगा। वो मदर कहती है मर गई मैं पढ़ा पढ़ा के इसको हिस्ट्री, तुम तो अपना टीवी देखते रहते हो ना, जैसे तुम्हारा कल एग्जाम है, तुम आज तक ही देखते रहो देखते रहो देखते रहो। तो ये झगड़े जो होते हैं, these are eye openers to say that parents are the youngest infants in the house. इसको इंट्रोवर्ट से एक्सट्रोवर्ट बना दीजिए, मैं वहां की बात कर रही हूँ। सोशल इंटरैक्शन पेरेंट्स को आता नहीं है, लिसनिंग स्किल पेरेंट्स में नहीं है, बस शादी हुई दुनिया को दिखाने के लिए, बच्चे हो गए। Are we mature to be a mother or a father? This point is for the children here. This point is for the children here. That किसी ने तुम्हें क्या, तुम कितनी प्यारी हो, बस आप हो गए लट्टू, क्योंकि घर में तो कोई कहता ही नहीं है तुम प्यारी हो, घर में कहता है तुम ये नहीं करते, तुम वो नहीं करते, वैसे नहीं करते, वैसे नहीं करते। So this you have to understand that you are being praised for what? When are you going to plan your child? It should be in your hands. There are lots of radio ads coming up. तुम पढ़ोगी नहीं आगे, तुम PhD नहीं करोगी, तुम सिर्फ मेरा मुंह पढ़ोगी। क्यों भाई, तू अकबर है क्या? This is for your maturity. Everybody at your age has that, romantic need. Yes, it's a hormonal need, it's an imaginal need, it's an emotional need, it's everything. Where am I entrusting my personality? That's very important to understand. So don't get carried away by anybody. I'm talking about boys also. You don't get carried away just because the girl says, I'll always make bed tea for you. And after marriage, after that love marriage, the boy says, you said you'd make bed tea for me. कहा था ना, तब तेरे मेरे बच्चे थोड़ी थे. Reality के लिए, are you matured? Because your parents are not mature. I have my eyes and I have my heart set on students. That you will change something. And I'm going to go to and fro because I want to link the initial question asked by ma'am. Pandemic and technology. So I will say, if I go back to pandemic, yes, we were online with school and we were having classes. कैमरा बंद किया, पहले प्रेजेंट प्लीज बोला, कैमरा बंद किया और उसके बाद गेम खेलने लग गए, किसी से गप्पे मारने लग गए. That was the first step that you were not interested in school per studies. You were interested in school so that you could get away from your parents' toka-taki. How would you like it? Now this is for the parents. I'm going to and fro. How would you like it if I would say, जीतू सुसु कर लेना, जीतू ब्रश कर लेना, जीतू अच्छी तरह से रगड़ना, जीतू साबुन लगा के नहाना, तुम्हारी गर्दन काली हुई है, जीतू जल्दी करो बस मिस हो जाएगी, जीतू जल्दी दूध पियो बस मिस हो जाएगी. क्या कर रहे हो, आधा जूठा फेंक दिया. What will Jitu say? Shut up yaar, it's too much. And parents don't understand कि हम instructions कितनी दे रहे हैं. So what do? If it's pandemic and lockdown, they don't want to hear the parents' voice. रजाई ही सो गए, नहीं उठे, उठो बेटा, क्लास शुरू हो रही है. अच्छा ना, पजामा में बिना ब्रश किए अटेंडेंस लगाई, कैमरा बंद किया और फिर सो गए. What are the parents doing? I'm taking a global view. Please look at me. What has happened? एग्जाम है ऑनलाइन. मदर बड़े भाई को या बड़ी बहन को जगा रही है, उसको हेल्प कर दे, उसका एग्जाम है. You're teaching the child to cheat. क्योंकि मम्मी पापा ने कहा है, so I have the license to cheat. It's not a wrong thing. अब क्या करें डॉक्टर ब्रूटा, नंबर तो लाने ही है ना. ढीठ हो चुका है, डिसोनेंट भी है, लेजी भी है, डिसिप्लिन रहा नहीं स्कूल ना जाने से. Look at the global picture of that pandemic and that technology. Goods and bads, our habits, our values, our social interaction, what is going to happen? I think I would like to work with parents. I must work with parents first than with the child. अभी इस टाइम पे ड्रग्स एंड वेप बहुत रेफरल है मेरे पास. Class 6, Class 8. So when we are sitting in a group, किस स्कूल का? अरे यार तुम स्कूल को बदनाम कर रहे हो. ये कोई नहीं पूछा किस स्कूल में नहीं है. Where does it they allow you to break one rule, morality. The other rule क्या है? Attitude. तो कुल मिला के एटीट्यूड एंड मोरालिटी से क्या होना है कि अगर कोई ऑफर कर रहा है वे तो चलो ना, अगर कोई ऑफर कर रहा है ई सिगरेट तो चलो ना, व्हाट्स रॉन्ग विद इट? कहां से सीखा? देयर आर साइट्स ऑन इट। मुझे इतना प्रॉब्लम आया ये डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए कि वो जो श्रद्धा का केस था, how to dispose of a body, he studied it on sight, how to get rid of the body. तो हमारी sites भी ऐसी हैं। You're talking of morality of children, you're talking of morality of parents. Are we doing any policing on what matter is being put up on technology? Will that not have a child thinking, अरे किसी का खून कर तो कौन सी बड़ी बात है, छुट जाएंगे? क्यों? क्योंकि घर आकर पापा ने कहा था यार आज चलान हुआ, मैंने तो उसको 500 रुपए पकड़ाए, चलो मैं घर आ गया, शांति मिल गई मुझे। What is a child learning? Where money can be used, where rules can be broken, where I can have an upper hand. कहाँ से आया? पेरेंट्स से। टेक्नोलॉजी कह रही है अरे तूने वो 11th क्लास का जो बुली लड़का था उसको मारी क्यों ना तू, रोज रोज मुझे बुली करता है, मुझे बुली करता है। आज मैं ना कुछ बड़े लड़कों के साथ लेके उसको हट कर देना है। कहाँ से लाया? वो पीछे पता नहीं कौन सा केस था, इयर्स बैक, उसने रिवॉल्वर ली। तो यार तुमने ली कहाँ से ये रिवॉल्वर? पापा की थी। तो मैंने कहा पापा की थी बट रखी कहाँ थी जो तुमने लॉक एंड की से निकाल ली? कौन सा लॉक एंड की? टीवी कैबिनेट में पड़ी होती है। भूल गए हो वो केस? सो हु इज द चाइल्ड? द पेरेंट। व्हाई इज द रिवॉल्वर देयर? Who is responsible partially? The government. Look at the laws. So easy to acquire a weapon. So easy to acquire pistols and guns. So come I to blame none. All I can say is, जितने थोड़े बहुत मेरे पास पेरेंट्स आते हैं, पहले उनको सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन सीखना पड़ेगा। Those who are working from home as couples, the mother-in-law would say, बेटा चाय बना दे, she is on a meeting. हस्बैंड कहता है यार कॉफी पिला दे यार, तो कहती है साले तुम खुद नहीं बना सकते। माँ कहती है कैसे बोल रही है मेरे बेटे के साथ? दिस इज ए लाइव एग्जाम्पल आई एम गिविंग यू। कैसे बोल रही है मेरे बेटे के साथ? एंड दिस इज द बेटा who is a CA and who is his wife a huge lawyer of Supreme Court. कैसे बोल रही है मेरे बेटे से? These are the tips, these nuances of language, these sentences when we badas speak at home, children pick up. कि मैं माँ को कुछ भी कह सकता हूँ, मम्मा पापा को मत बताना। क्यों भाई, बॉस आया है क्या? And women are responsible for it. I never blame the man. कैसे? छोटा सा एक उदाहरण। बच्चा आया, मम्मी स्कूल ट्रिप जा रहा है जयपुर, इतने पैसे हमें जमा कराने हैं, मैं चला जाऊं प्लीज मेरी क्लास जा रही है, प्लीज मेरी क्लास जा रही है, प्लीज मेरी क्लास जा रही है। चुप कर, तेरे पापा आएंगे तो उनसे पूछ के बताऊंगी। क्यों भाई, हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट आ रहा है क्या? So he thinks she's nothing यार। Why should I need to confide in her or why should I respect her or regard her? मेरा डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट फिर मैं पापा से ही रखूंगा। तो क्या करता है वो लड़का? पापा के पास जाता है, पापा आज मम्मी ना इतनी देर नानी से बात करती रही टेलीफोन पे। फादर क्या कहता है, क्यों भाई निकम्मी हो गई है क्या? अपनी माँ से बात करे बिना तुझे रोटी नहीं हजम होती? तेरी माँ तुझे बहुत कुछ सिखाती है। मैं पूछा उससे, तुम्हारी माँ तुम्हें कुछ नहीं सिखाती पापा जी? No answer. But the child has learned. Head of the department को खुश रहो तो जयपुर भी जाओ, पिस्टल्स भी निकालो, गन्स भी निकालो, विमेन को डिसरिगार्ड करो, पहले मदर फिर गर्लफ्रेंड। So I think the situation is not that simple as you're asking. We have to look at multifaceted angles. There are pros, there are very good pros of technology, there are very good pros of parenting, but parenting किसकी होनी है? मुझे तो लगता है children can parent their parents better than parents can parent their children. Let me tell you that.
So I'll from there I will move to the next comment I have to make, that I think it's all about role modeling also.
Actually,
parents have to role model. They have to do that. So if a parent is on the device all day long at the dinner table and indicates either by word, deed or action that he or she does not have time for the child, that is the message that the child carries home, right?
also if the father is spending midnight, beyond midnight on the telephone, and the child has gone to sleep, he still knows my father is on technology.
Absolutely. So I don't know if you all are aware of there's a restaurant in Delhi where they take away your devices. Have you heard of it? All your devices go and they are put in a box and it's locked and the waiter takes the key away. I love that place because I can talk to my friends. Otherwise, even in this auditorium, I can see people inadvertently. This is an addiction. Nasha hai ye. It's not a device anymore. We've become far too dependent on it. Using is fine. Dependence, I think, has to be addressed now, here and now. And from there comes my next question to both the panelists. How do you identify this addiction in the child, and then how do you help them to get de-addicted? I know there's a role of parents, I know there's a role of teachers. I just want to hear from you how to identify addiction and then how to help them get out. Because the topic is all about digital parenting. We meandered out of this domain a little bit. We're talking about general parenting, but I want to bring it back to the digital space and accept that children and adults, let me not just say students, adults are also deeply addicted to this. Over to you.
Well, I think it's very interesting unfolding dialogue right now. I'm sure there are esteemed members in the audience who want to share their experience also. To take an altered path for a moment, digital detox, there's no doubt that a family requires as much as people who suffer disorders they require. Suppose we take the flip side of it. If I can ask a random question to the parents here, क्योंकि ये एक पर्टिकुलर स्कूल चेन है जहाँ पे एक फैमिली दरबार होता है, वो PTM डे पे होता है, दिल्ली में भी है एक स्कूल वसंत कुंज के साइड पे। तो मैम वहाँ पे मैंने देखा था कि बच्चे और पेरेंट्स और एक मॉडरेटर सीनियर बच्चा, नो टीचर्स नो प्रिंसिपल, एक दो एक्सपर्ट्स आ जाते हैं हमारे जैसे, सो कॉल्ड नॉट रियली एक्सपर्ट्स। आई वाज सरप्राइज सर, द गर्ल इज आस्किंग, द हेड गर्ल स्टार्ट्स द प्रोग्राम because we are looking at solutions now based on the case study what ma'am has mentioned. How many of the parents believe that you are the role model for your child? Any hands up? So you're pretty sure you are the role model for your child in the list of those 5 role models. But still, out of the numbers here, we could see only 3 people. अगर एक 100 बच्चों की प्रोग्राम में पेरेंट्स बैठे हैं, उनमें से अगर केवल 5 ही हाथ उठाते हैं, तो इसका मतलब पेरेंट्स आर नॉट श्योर वेदर दे आर डूइंग इनफ टू बी द रोल मॉडल्स ऑफ देयर ओन चाइल्ड इन फ्रंट ऑफ देयर चाइल्ड। बच्चे वहाँ बैठे हैं, 9th और 11th के बच्चे यहाँ बैठे हैं और पेरेंट्स यहाँ बैठे हैं। पेरेंट्स एक्चुअली फियर रेजिंग देयर हैंड कि मेरा बच्चा कहीं रिटॉर्ट ना करे, डैड यू द रोल मॉडल, आई एम सॉरी। सो दैट इज द क्वेश्चन टू ऑल ऑफ अस। द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन कम्स, मैम ने बताया कि रात के 12 बजे के बाद अगर वो खुद ही डिजिटल मीडिया पर हैं तो वो क्षण कहाँ है? वेयर आर दोज मोमेंट्स ऑफ पर्सनलाइज्ड अनकंडीशनल एक्टिव लिसनिंग, आई टू आई कॉन्टैक्ट विद अ टच दैट मैटर्स थ्रू लाइफ? एम आई गिविंग दैट टू माई चाइल्ड? Okay, how many of you, बच्चे सारे बड़े हो गए हैं, could have managed bedtime stories more for fathers than asking? Bedtime stories, I know all the moms will go up. वो चतुर खरगोश और प्यासा कौवा की कहानी आपने सुनाई थी बच्चों को बचपन में? Only fathers के लिए है। और ये डिजायर बच्चे पूछ रहे हैं कि I wish my dad could have spent 5 minutes with the pillow stories in my बचपन, because मेरा बचपन वो तरस में रह गया fatherhood के लिए। Sunday fathers, ATM fathers, I'm not blaming fathers, I'm also one of them. So हमको ये सीखने का टाइम आ गया है कि हम अब मदरहुड को पहले 5 साल फिर फादरहुड को अगले 10 साल डिस्ट्रीब्यूट ना करें, because day one the baby needs a father, the baby needs a paternal dynamics of psychology, I believe. So that is one. Third point, बच्चे इतना ज़्यादा डिजिटल मीडिया में अगर सो कॉल्ड एडिक्टिव बिहेवियर में आ गए हैं, ठीक है, एंटरटेनमेंट, हैबिचुअल, अलग बातें थी। सवाल उठ रहा है इंटरनेट गेमिंग डिसऑर्डर, इंटरनेट एडिक्टिव डिसऑर्डर, as classificatory nomenclatures coming up in DSM and ICDs. Are we heading towards that? The question is, उसका alternate क्या है? Validation. Who else than man with 3 generations of teaching in psychology would tell us emotional validation मुझे वहाँ से मिलती है जो आपसे मिलती नहीं है, मुझे ना टीचर से मिलती है। One comment of catharsis on Instagram invites 200 validations within 20 minutes, and I'm yearning that validation to come from my dad, mom, or the teacher. I'm including all. So the NEP thought, चलो barrier तोड़ते हैं, new education policy. Let's bring family into the school and let's have a school going into the family. Luckily, before the policy came out, the teachers went home virtually. Well, education warriors के काबिल हैं हमारे टीचर, because 80 लाख टीचर को आपने अगर 2 हफ्ते में कहा अप्रैल 20 में जाके अब घरों में घुस जाओ अपने लैपटॉप लेके, that's the only way to educate youngsters. Though we lost a lot of human hours in that, but I think parents के लिए वो वाला part अब बच्चे सवाल उठाते हैं। I have realized over the last 2-3 years, man, अगर digital detox करना है तो हमें एक क्वालिटी वो जो है जो हमने टीचर से सीखी है, बच्चों को सेल्फ एस्टीम तो देनी होगी ना। वो किलो के हिसाब से दें, टन के हिसाब से आपके ऊपर है, बट थिंग्स, ऑब्जेक्ट्स ऑफ डिजायर, प्लेजर, ये सब टेम्पररी है जो बच्चों के लिए। कौन सा खिलौना 3 दिन के बाद वो फेंक नहीं देता है, कौन सा खिलौना, कौन सा आइसक्रीम उसको, कौन सा पिज्जा उसको 3 बार खाने के बाद पसंद नहीं आएगा, दूसरा लाएगा। बट योर लव, योर एस्टीम्ड टाइम, कन्वर्सेशन वाला unconditional, जब ये सवाल ना आए। I'm talking about the results that come out in a family दरबार dialogue. I found this a very good concept, where let the family in plenty, and mind you, कई पेरेंट्स डर के नहीं आते हैं उस दरबार में, कहीं पोल खुल जाएंगे घर के। Another point which came up, I was just thinking, constant comparisons, man. वो ताऊ जी का बेटा देखो कहाँ पहुँच गया है, वो मामू का बेटा देखो कौन सी नॉर्थहैम्पटन में है, हार्वर्ड में है, तुम कहाँ के कहाँ रह गए। Constantly, who am I? My identity snatched away from myself. I think all of us been through. We were just discussing before coming here. Both of us happen to be from army background children, and I have seen enough of army officers as patients also. So मेरा ये कहना है कि कहीं पर बातें सीखी, कहीं टूट गई, कहीं संवारने में लग गई. But the fact that we still stuck together, we need to give that self-esteem to the child. And that invites you to be a role model. Well, father may be having less time, mother may be having very difficult time with the in-laws or whatever. ये तो सभ्यता है, चलता रहेगा, 3-4 जनरेशन में थोड़ी चला जाएगा, हमेशा के लिए रहेगा. But within the time available, if the digital parenting is the challenge what we're talking about, I think the time has come for non-digital parenting, even if it is a microcosm of the family. छोटा सा क्षण भी बच्चों के लिए बहुत है, but वो मेरा time, पापा मेरा time, inverted commas. Where I need to see you, you need to see me. You are watching but not listening to me. You are talking but not listening to me. Will be a hatred towards the parent. So it is not about the child alone. Child को भी parent बनना पड़ेगा. There is no doubt that आप बताइए कि दिल्ली ही में national capital में 4 गुना juvenile crime क्यों बढ़ गया है? My team is working in Tihar jail also on every Wednesday now. And believe me man, public schools के बच्चे हैं वहाँ पर जो 18 से पहले चिल्ड्रन होम्स में थे और फिर वहाँ पे आ गए हैं बिकॉज अडल्ट क्राइम में आ गए हैं. सो व्हाट आर वी looking at, and आपने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा, वो बंदूक के सौजन्य से मुझे याद आ गया, we are not far away, जो US के schools में shooting होती है, we are not far away, we are not far away. If their guns, gangs and drugs are the culture, we are not far away from all three of them. So, but the family supervision, and so rightly you said, ma'am, माँ बाप को पता नहीं है कि कौन किसके साथ कितने बजे तक कौन वापस आएगा, कब वापस आएगा. कॉलेज में हमने मान लिया, मैं तो कहता हूँ 18 साल के बाद आप भूल जाओ, बच्चे का आपको अपॉइंटमेंट लेना पड़ेगा, बट उससे पहले तो आपका सुपरविजन रहे कहीं पर. They don't know, many of the parents do not know, most of them do not know who are the friends के पेरेंट्स क्या हैं, कौन से बैकग्राउंड में हैं, थोड़ा जानकारी के लिए कोई आपका अधिकार नहीं रहा. So it is a beautiful moment for children to actually give us the do's and don'ts of parenting. These are the last, I think, one more I forgot, where these, including all of you here, maybe we can ask Vice Chancellor ma'am also. I know we are all compelled, but how many of us at least 4 times, including this side, have dinner together with the youngest and the eldest in the family? At least 4 times a week. बहुत बहुत कम है, बहुत कम है. एटलीस्ट 4 times, 3 दिन मत करो, 3 दिन एक ही घर में कई मकान बना लो, एक ही घर में कई मकान बना लो, अलग अलग रूम में डिनर कर लो, अलग अलग रूम में मोबाइल फोन एंड लैपटॉप्स एंड. बट अगर हम 10% भी नहीं हैं कि 4 दिन हम एक डिनर साथ में खा सकें, बच्चे की इमोशनल वेलबींग या सेल्फ एस्टीम या वैलिडेशन कौन देगा? He'll grow up to say what Mahatma Gandhi said, that turn around and say, was this the parenting you gave me? Non-negotiable, I insist, non-negotiable. Come what may, कोई भी जिंदगी का तूफान आंधी हो, Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday or any other 4 days, dinner will be together. That's all. Otherwise, dinner नहीं मिलेगा. Unless you are a toddler, because आपको जरूरी है इतना. वो चीज़ों में कहीं ना कहीं we are coming back to see, without mobile phone, without television kept in the other, a lot of parents are trying and they seem to be successful, man, in digital detox.
That's what I said, there has to be an effort from the parents also. That is what positive parenting is all about. You have to mirror that. So as a principal, we have a lot of events in school, some awards, some sports day, and we call parents. And if the child is becoming a head boy and he's been with me from nursery, or Barbie mein aa gaya, and if I just say, a mom and dad, no ma'am. That time I keep quiet. Later on I ask, I say, ma'am hai na, ma'am is like a mother to you. I am like a mother, I am not a mother. So tomorrow when the parents are celebrating something and the child says I cannot come, I have a board meeting, it should be perfectly acceptable. That time the child is sort of made to feel small कि अरे इतना बड़ा इवेंट था तुम आए नहीं. उस बच्चे के लिए वो हेड बॉय बनना या हेड गर्ल बनना भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट रहता है. So message to parents, please do unto your children as you would want to be done unto you. It's very very important. थोड़ा समय दीजिए. Ma'am, any comments on the detox bit?
आपने मेरी दुखती पे हाथ रखा एंड जो ये लास्ट आपने एग्जाम्पल दिया कि मैम इज नॉट द मदर, शी इज लाइक अ मदर. मेरी बचपन में जो डांस परफॉर्मेंसेस हुआ करती थी, जो हमारा डांसिंग स्कूल था, तो वो रीगल सिनेमा जो कनॉट प्लेस में उसको हायर करता था, तो हमारे फंक्शंस वहाँ होते थे. I would have been right from the age of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think मैं पहले नीचे पर्दा उठा के देखती थी, मम्मा आई हैं कि नहीं, मम्मा कौन से रो में बैठी हुई हैं. And for me it was enough. I wouldn't bother about the audience, क्योंकि मेरा हीरो वही थी. और मैं चाहती थी कि मम्मा वहाँ बैठी हुई, as if she is the bee queen of my life, because I would want to do what she approves of, right? So ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. लेकिन मैं थोड़े से practical tips पे आना चाहती हूँ, and do's and don'ts पे, और fathers and mothers who are coming home after a long day and the children are already there at home. और आपने दरवाजे की घंटी बजाई और आपका फोन साथ में ही बज गया. Don't take the call, because there are children inside who are saying papa aa gaye, mama aa gayi, and you are picking up the phone as if कि $10 billion का कोई कैंसिल होने वाला है ऑर्डर या समथिंग, एंड आप कह रहे हो बेटा हाँ जी हाँ जी हाँ जी. This is the worst thing that you can do as parents. If you have come home, you have come home for those children. That's your home, and the home is incomplete if you have not hugged your child, गले से नहीं लगाया, कस के एक जप्पी नहीं दी. I think दुनिया मिल जाती है अगर हम अपने बच्चे को कस के जप्पी देते हैं. तो फोन किस काम का. और आप तो ऐसी दुनिया में पैदा हुए हो जहाँ मिस्ड कॉल की आइडेंटिटी होगी, कौन था कौन नहीं था. हमारे टाइम में तो किसी बॉयफ्रेंड का फोन आना था तो वो कोड लैंग्वेज होती थी, 3 घंटियां दे के बंद कर देना, और ये भी नहीं पता कौन सा बॉयफ्रेंड था. आपको तो सारे मैसेजेस रिकॉर्ड हो जाएंगे, हाउ आर यू, मिसिंग यू, राइट, ओ माय सोना, ओ माय दिस. और फिर आपको जैसे मैम ने कहा कि सर ने कहा इंस्टा पे इतनी वैलिडेशन जल्दी मिल जाएगी, यू नो. सो आई समटाइम्स वंडर कि हम कैसे बड़े हुए. आवर वैलिडेशन वाज फ्रॉम आवर पेरेंट्स एंड आवर ग्रैंडपेरेंट्स. दैट वाज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो यू आर वैलिडेटिंग द प्रेजेंस ऑफ द चाइल्ड. जब आप उसको जब भी मारते हैं, जब आप कहीं भी काम से घर वापस आते हैं, नेवर टेक अ कॉल. यू कैन आंसर दैट कॉल आफ्टर 1 hour. नेवर डू दैट. अब बच्चे हैं, पापा आ गया, सारा जेस्ट खत्म, फिर वो अपने कमरे में, वो अपने कमरे में, वो अपना टीवी, आप अपना टीवी. लॉट ऑफ पेरेंट्स कम एंड टेल मी, जी ये कमरे से बाहर ही नहीं आता, हम क्या करें. आदत तो आपने डाली थी. You gave them an attached bath, you gave them a separate television, you gave them a separate laptop. So it's a house within the house. तो वो क्यों आके आपके पास बैठेगा? क्योंकि आपने तो कहा आज कितनी पढ़ाई की. That's the opening sentence when you come home. आज रिपोर्ट आ गई. यार हद तो गई, कमाल करते हो. Is that important? Is that important? मेरा छोटा लड़का, when he was appearing for 12th, तो हिस्ट्री टीचर को मैंने कहा, ट्यूटर को मैंने कहा कि सर ऐसे है, मैं अगर इससे पूछूं कि हिस्ट्री टीचर कोई होमवर्क दे के गए हैं तो झूठ बोलेगा, प्लस उसका मेरा रिश्ता भी खराब हो जाएगा. आप प्लीज रजिस्टर के पीछे डेट डाल के लिख दिया कीजिए वर्क टू बी डन, तो मैं देख लिया करूँगी. So, वो कहने लगे कि सब ठीक हो जाएगा. मुझे समझ नहीं आई इस स्टेटमेंट को. एवरी टाइम सब ठीक हो जाएगा. You know, when you're a young mother, you're full of your hormones, you're full of your idealism. ऐसे सेशंस हमारे टाइम में तो होते ही नहीं थे, you know. So वो मुबारक देने गई तो मैंने अपनी भाभी जी से कहा, उन्होंने वो ट्यूटर दिया था. भाभी ट्यूटर को मुझे ग्रैटिट्यूड शो करना है, तो मैं एग्जाम्स होने से पहले मैं जाके उनको कुछ गिफ्ट देना चाहती हूँ. बिल्कुल ना जाए. भाभी जी बोली क्यों? बेटा उसने अपने बेटे से सिर्फ यही कहा था, तू कॉमर्स में टॉप कर ले तो तू मेरा बेटा है. वो रिजल्ट लेने गया, कॉमर्स में टॉप नहीं किया, सिर्फ 4 नंबरों से रह गया, घर नहीं आया, रेलगाड़ी के नीचे सिर दे दिया. क्या हमें वो मार्क्स चाहिए? बच्चा एक दिन आधा घंटा लेट हो जाए, जान निकली होती है. जो हम अखबारें पढ़ते हैं, न्यूज़ सुनते हैं, लेकिन उस समय हम छड़ी लेके खड़े होते हैं. आधा घंटा कहाँ लगाया? 4 मार्क्स कहाँ खोए? तेरे मुंह से कैसी स्मेल आ रही है? उस समय हम चंडी के रूप में होते हैं. और ये सर मेरे जो थे भिखारियों की तरह आके उसे पढ़ाते थे कि बेटा जो है ठीक है, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. तब समझ में आई मुझे, क्योंकि आई डिडंट नो व्हाट इज हिज बैकग्राउंड। दैट इज व्हाट भाभी जी हैड टोल्ड मी कि भाई इसका बेटा घर नहीं आया तो तू उसके बहुत ज़्यादा पीछे मत पड़ना कि इसके नंबर आएंगे। आई सेड आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन नंबर्स। मैं कभी भी नंबर, जब मेरे ही नहीं आते थे तो मैं अपने बच्चों के क्यों एक्सपेक्ट करूँ? बट आप लोगों के नहीं आते थे, बट यू वांट द बेस्ट आउट ऑफ योर चाइल्ड एकेडमिकली। आपने बात करी थी, मैं उस समय जवाब नहीं दिया कि एक लड़का कहता है मुझे आईआईटी पूरा नहीं करना। क्यों नहीं करना भाई? मैंने तो इसलिए ज्वाइन किया था कि मेरे पापा रोज कहते रहते थे आई एम फ्रॉम आईआईटी, तू आईआईटी में क्वालिफाई नहीं करेगा, क्रैक नहीं करेगा तो मेरी नाक कट जाएगी। एक तो हिंदुस्तानियों की नाक बड़ी जल्दी कट जाती है, पता नहीं सूर्पनखा करके लेवल रोल मॉडल आई डोंट नो क्यों कटती है, पर मेरी नाक नहीं कटती। मुझे नहीं फर्क पड़ता, मेरे बच्चे रोज घर आ जाएं, मेरे बच्चे रोज खाना खा लें, गिला कर लें, ये क्या बनाया घास फूस, जरा नूडल्स बना दो, तो मुझे लगता है माय डे इज मेड। दिस इज व्हाई आई एम ए मदर और आई एम अ साइकोलॉजिस्ट और आई हैव बीन मैरिड। आई थिंक ये ही बहुत प्यारी दुनिया है एंड वी हैव नॉट लर्न टू वैल्यू इट। जो सबसे बड़ा पोलियो आया है हमारी कंट्री में, अमिताभ बच्चन जी जरा मुझे क्षमा करें क्योंकि ही इज द एम्बेसडर फॉर गेटिंग इट राइट इरेडिकेशन, बट ये पोलियो है। ये हमारे हाथ भी ले चुका है, बाजू भी ले चुका है, हमारी टांगे ले चुका है, हमारी बुद्धि ले चुका है। दिस इज द ट्यूमर इन द ब्रेन। एंड नाउ प्रैक्टिकली my first do's and don'ts for parents was when you enter the house, no matter whether you've shopped for veggies or you have shopped for anything or you've gone to office, never pick up the phone after you've rung the bell and announced that you've arrived. Never pick up that call. You can do it later. I will also say, don't expect marks from your child. That doesn't mean that you don't tell him to study. I will say, इसका ट्यूमर ना बने, इसका पोलियो ना बने. You have to discipline yourself first. कि 10 बजे से पहले, that means whether it is 9:45 or 9:50, this telephone has to go at a corner, not in your room, where it can be charged. It should not be with you. इसकी इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स आपके दिमाग में हैं, जा रही हैं और आप लगे ही रहोगे। एक मैसेज आया कोई, यू आर टेम्प्टेड टू गेट अप कि डॉक्टर ब्रूटा ने कहा था नहीं उठाना, अच्छा जरा देख लो किसका है। जब देखने लगे तो बस फिर बैठ गए, अब ये देख अब वो देख। आई थिंक वी शुड नॉट यूज द फोन आफ्टर 10 o'clock. अब मुझे लगता तो गलत है क्योंकि मैं डॉक्टर के पास बैठी हुई हूँ, उनको फिजियोलॉजी मेरे से ज़्यादा आती है, पर एक दिन ब्रूटा साहब कोई डॉक्यूमेंट रात को 2:45 बजे साइन करने लगे तो उन्होंने डेट डाली 1978 and it was 2002 at that time. And सुबह उठ के उन्होंने मुझे कहा यार आज तो बहुत गड़बड़ लग रही मुझे। हम इस बात को ज़्यादा सेंसिटिव हैं बिकॉज हम एजिंग हो रहे हैं, तो हमें लगता है कि डिमेंशिया तो नहीं हो रहा, एल्जाइमर तो नहीं हो रहा। तो ब्रूटा साहब ने ये बात बताई कि यार मैं रात को डॉक्यूमेंट साइन कर रहा था तो मैंने ये डेट डाली। मैं बड़ी अलर्ट हो गई। है ना, नीम हकीम खतरे जान, इतना नॉलेज हो तो पता नहीं कहाँ कहाँ जाता है दिमाग। तो fortunately 8 o'clock in the morning I was having a client who was a father, is a cardiologist in South Delhi and was coming for his son who was suffering from OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Okay, so मैंने डॉक्टर साहब से जब वो आए तो कहा डॉक्टर साहब आज तो पहले मेरी काउंसलिंग कीजिए और आप बाद में अपनी बात बताना क्या हुआ। मैं कहा ब्रूटा साहब के साथ ऐसे हुआ। वो उन्होंने क्या बताया मुझे, दिस इज फॉर एवरीबडी। प्लीज, वो कहने लगे कि आपको पता है रात को 12 बजे डेट चेंज हो जाती है. That means the next day has started. एक फैक्ट है. हम लोग कहते हैं दिन चढ़ गया क्योंकि सूरज जी चढ़ गए. अरे दिन तो रात को ही चढ़ गया था, जिसे हम रात कह रहे हैं क्योंकि बाहर अंधेरा है. वो 12 बजे के बाद 1 AM लिखते हो आप, PM नहीं लिखते हो, AM लिखते हो. वो दिन है दूसरा. और अगर आप जागते रहे तब तक, तो इसका मतलब है एक रात पहले, नेक्स्ट डे हो गया, एक रात पहले आप सोए ही नहीं. दूसरे दिन फिर वो 1 बजे 2 बजे सोए, डेट चेंज हो गई. एक रात पहले आप सोए ही नहीं, जाने कितनी हजारों रातें आप नहीं सोए. सो यू आर अब्यूजिंग योर ब्रेन कैपेबिलिटीज. एक उन्होंने बात बताई. दूसरी बात बताई उन्होंने कि रात को 10 बजे से लेकर और 12 बजे तक जो नींद आती है उसको नॉक्टर्नल स्लीप कहते हैं. क्यों कहते हैं? कि उसमें जो EEG होता है, एक तो ECG होता है आपके हार्ट का, जो ब्रेन का लेते हो तो वो EEG कहलाता है. तो उसका जो EEG फॉर्मेशंस होती हैं, स्पाइक ऐसे पोटेंशियल्स, जो 10 से 12 बजे रात को नींद आती है, उसमें एक वेव है, अल्फा वेव, जो कि बड़ी होती है, which is an indicator of relaxation. और 12 बजे के बाद ये ही अल्फा वेव जो इतनी स्पेसिफिक है स्पाइक बन जाती है. सो आपने नॉक्टर्नल स्लीप तो कभी ली ही नहीं, तभी तो आप इतने रेस्टलेस हो. ना ब्रेन को रेस्ट मिला, ना नॉक्टर्नल स्लीप का आनंद उठाया, मजा नहीं लिया. तो आपका ब्रेन ट्रेंड ही नहीं है रिलैक्स करने को, ट्रेनिंग ही नहीं आपके ब्रेन को शांत रहने की. सो ट्राई टू थिंक कि अगर आप 3 बजे रात को सोते हैं, ओवरनाइट कोई ऐसे चेंज नहीं हो जाता. पर अगर आप 3 बजे सोते हैं तो आप 2:30 बजे सोइए, कुछ दिनों बाद 2 बजे, कुछ दिन धीरे धीरे उसको 2 महीने में या 1-1.5 महीने में 10 बजे अपनी नींद ले आओ. बट अब डॉक्टर्स हैं, वो कहते हैं हमारी नाइट ड्यूटीज होती हैं. अब जो होती हैं वो तो है, लेकिन जिनकी नहीं होती हैं वो तो अपना ट्रेन कर सकते हैं ना अपने आप को. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. जो BPOs में काम करते हैं, जो अमेरिकन सेक्टर देखते हैं, वो उनको तो डिस्टर्बेंस होगी. दैट्स द peculiarity ऑफ योर जॉब. दूसरा, इट्स अ वेस्टर्न इन्फ्लुएंस. वेस्ट में ये पॉलिटिक्स है कि ऐसी कंट्रीज को काम दो जहां पे हम 10 आदमियों का काम एक आदमी से ले सकते हैं. इंडिया की हिस्ट्री है कि हम गरीबी से उठे हुए हैं. वी जंप ऑन दैट पे पैकेज. तो हम 10 आदमियों का काम करते हैं. तो कहाँ हमारी वैल्यूज, कहाँ हमारी नीड्स? बड़ी कार ले लो, छोटी कार ले लो, EMI दे देंगे. बड़ा टीवी ले लो, EMI दे देंगे. बड़ा फ्रिज ले लो, EMI दे देंगे. तो एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ वी रियलाइज कि जो सैलरी मिलनी है उसमें से हमारा ये तो EMI में जाना है. अब बच्चे कहते हैं पापा कहीं चलो ना. चुप कर बे, अभी बड़ा टीवी लेके दिया है, शांति नहीं पड़ती तुझे? कहता भैया तुम लाए थे, मैंने तो नहीं कहा था बड़ा चाहिए. अगेन parent, the infant in the parent, that is very important to understand. बहुत बोलिए अब आप.
Thank you so much, ma'am and Dr. Nagpal. I think we've accepted, understood, reawakened the parent. Yes? And for all of you on this side who are students, you cannot say that no one taught us about parenting. We say no one taught us how to be a good spouse, how to be a good parent. But you must thank your university for creating this opportunity where you got some nuanced look at what parenting should look like, what does a good parent look like, and how influential you are in your child's life. I open the audience for questions. If there's any question, keep it brief, to the point, and please indicate who you would like
Can I just add one thing for the children here, students? जब तक mature emotionally अपने आप को ना समझो, शादी नहीं करना, शादी कर ली 4 साल बच्चे मत पैदा करना। अगर उम्मीद है मैं जॉब करूं, अगर उम्मीद है मैं PhD, पापा मेरे पीछे पड़े हैं, शादी कर लो, तो अपने करियर को आगे ले जाने के लिए करो। सेकेंडली, ये जो प्रथाएं हैं हिंदुस्तान में, डाउरी और ये सब, फिर उसका डिस्प्ले, नो वन इज गोइंग टू स्टॉप इट बट यू द स्टूडेंट्स। मेरा सामान डिस्प्ले नहीं होगा, नथिंग डूइंग। और जो ऐसी कम्युनिटीज हैं, I will not say Haryana, I will say all over India, where you negotiate marriage with money. कितने की शादी करोगे? You have to somewhere bring about that change and not get this opportunity to talk to you again. And you have to think that you will say, पापा मानते नहीं है, मम्मी मानती नहीं है, उन लोगों के सामने मैं बोलती क्या? Who are they? Nobody. या वो अपना लड़का बेच रहे हैं या पेरेंट्स अपनी लड़की बेच रहे हैं। This is what you have to analyze. Display of dowry हो रही है, मामों का वो जो क्या होता है पता नहीं, तो देते हैं तो भूल गई मैं वर्ड, भाग देते हैं, ठीक है, तो सबको बुलाते हैं दिखाने के लिए कि हमारी वाह वाह करो, जय जयकार करो कि हमने अपनी भांजी को ये दिया, ये दिया, ये दिया। डोंट डिस्प्ले नहीं करो। अगर हम अभी हटाने की कोशिश ना करें, वी कांट चेंज, एज आई सेड, लाइक दिस द सोसाइटी, बट कम से कम डिस्प्ले करना बंद करो, सौदेबाजी रोक दो। 2 करोड़ की शादी, 3 करोड़ की शादी, 1 करोड़ की शादी, 50 लाख की शादी, प्लीज स्टॉप इट। जब तक लड़कियां कदम नहीं उठाएंगी, सिसक के मेरे आगे तो मत रहो। Think what you have to do, and with your life now, you have to think, am I capable of being a wife? Am I capable of being a mother? Only then go ahead. Otherwise, you can have romance with anyone. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? हाँ, ठीक है. Don't get alarmed by what I'm saying because your hormones are bothering you. तो जब तुम्हारे hormones तुम्हें bother करते हो, बड़े शादी कर लो. हो गई मुसीबत शुरू. चावल बनाओ, दाल बनाओ, ये बनाओ, वो बनाओ. Why? Don't do that. Get firm with your career first. Stand on your own 2 feet, and then think मुझे आगे क्या करना है. Thank you.
The studio that completing what ma'am said, एक इंटर स्कूल वर्चुअल डिबेट चल रहा था 2020 में, and this happens every year, and we had more than 10,000 students participating. I remember this line by a girl from Tamil Nadu, Chennai. It was a topic about building relationships in 21st century real world. And I remember the punchline very well. It's time that the young adults in India are groomed to work for marriages and not the wedding. So as you said, wedding day की तैयारी ज़्यादा होती है, marriage की तैयारी कम होती है. The rest is self-explained.
Any questions? Yes, please. Can someone pass the mic?
I think Sir talked about how to get out of addiction of mobile. That's something that I would like to learn for myself as well, rather than the child who's right now in pre-nursery. But important question, how to give child self-esteem and validation of emotions. That is something that I'd like to learn. How? What are the steps? Like you said, and is there anything else that we are missing as new parents?
Sure, sir. I think it's a very thoughtful question and a concern for each one of us for that matter. Your full name, sir?
Akshay.
Akshay, you're doing what?
I'm part of the HR team in Zuki, Akshay Nagyalkar.
Okay. So HR background. Undoubtedly, you are a people's person, and your first potential lies in building up human resource development, isn't it? Indirectly, you are also working for something very similar. The question you asked, isn't it? We are biologically primed for certain basic needs. I'm not going into a Maslowian dialogue over here. The teacher sitting here. Your diet, sleep, exercise, जनरल हाइजीन, स्वच्छता बड़े पैमाने पर, हम साफ सफाई की और हैंड क्लीनिंग की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. Are these being taken care? Are these being taken care? Because even these 4 biological parameters to define a healthy, aware and responsible 24-hour a day is suffering grossly in the most educated urban India. Today we are importing non-communicable disorders more than any country in the world. We were famous, notorious maybe, for communicable infectious diseases. You tell me one country which has the highest hypertension, obesity, diabetes, depression, drugs, suicides, cancer. We the people. We the people shortly. Because we go by the population index. It is highest in America. Agreed, maybe. But आप 1.4 billion हैं. वहाँ कितने हैं? 1/4. Your adolescents are their entire population. Today we are 32 crores of adolescents. America is just short of that by the way. So you look at catch them young syndrome. You ask man, you ask Colonel Pratap Singh sir, health checkups में कितनी behavioral को तो छोड़िए को बात हो रही है आज detox की, लेकिन medical disorders कितने निकल रहे हैं? It is advancing. The digital world goes with junk food as a necessity. ठीक है, अगर मैं बैठा हूँ और मैं नहाता नहीं हूँ, we've had cases. There's not the time for elaborate case studies. Madam knows we keep talking. जहाँ 3-3, 4-4 दिन नहाना नहीं. And ये posh localities of Delhi की बात कर रहा हूँ. ब्रश नहीं किया है because the 18 घंटे मोबाइल पे हैं. और वहाँ की रोल मॉडल की फिर बात आती है बच्चों के लिए. Somewhere I think the answer lies in exactly the question itself. First, get back to the school where the basic needs are taken care as role models in the family. Do unto others what you want unto them. Be the change what you wish to see. Are we taking care of that fantastic 60 minutes out of 24 hours for bodily health? I think we are all neglecting somewhere. Some of us are doing it out of sheer mistakes. हम medical dialogue में नहीं जाएंगे. The cardiovascular disorders in urban India are among the highest in the world. Did you hear of bypass happening at 35 years? Cardiac bypass. हमने ग्रैंडफादर्स का इंसिडेंट भी सुना था और वो भी एक ज़माने में मद्रास जाना पड़ता था बिकॉज दिल्ली में था नहीं कुछ. You ask any hospital running well, including All India Institute, the number of angioplasties being done for under 40 years. Young couples who have children in school, father in the cardiac ICU, working for corporate world, 18 hours, chain smoker, anger being the trump card of emotional living. This is a classical case study ना. तो ये कोई जनता कम नहीं है, population तो बढ़ रही है, तो हम उस पे से वहाँ से शुरू करें. It will be good to take care of the body. I think our yoga sutras are talking about and yelling to the world, and world is making patents. We are not yet doing it. Yoga is patented in so many asanas in the US, by the way. So once that is done, I think the time comes to somewhat epitomizing what already has been discussed. Are we giving moments? I repeat moments. हम बहुत theoretical dialogue में बच्चों के साथ ना बैठें, उनको भी पसंद नहीं है. But the fact that I, me and myself, first I need to appreciate what I need to impart, not sermonize to my child. So self-care is the, you know what the children fail in understanding us? That आप अपने लिए तो कम से कम देखभाल कर लो. अपना तो देखभाल कर लो पहले. Because I tell you the formula of 80, what we learned from some of our gurus in medicine. 80 minutes, दिन में हंस लेते हैं आप. 80 times चलिए. 80 minutes की exercise कोई भी कर लें आप walking, jogging, running, skipping, yoga. 80 minutes exercise is not a difficult task. Just 35-40 minutes in the morning or in the evening and put together. You can do it in office also. Are you able to keep your sugar around 80 fasting? Are you able to keep your BP diastolic around 80? Are you able to put a medical insurance of 80? If all this doesn't work, ये सब जरूरी पड़ जाएगा फिर. So these are the areas where we need to first take care of ourselves. I think a healthy body, healthy mind, हमने प्राइमरी स्कूल में सुना था. बच्चे सबसे पहले आपसे वो मांग रहे हैं, मम्मी की हेल्थ, पापा की हेल्थ. Can you imagine a mom or a dad in the ICU and a child who has not yet completed a primary school out of sheer stressful living on a day-to-day note? Mental health ही तो है उसमें. So इतना गवर्नेंस हम कर रहे हैं. I think self-esteem की बात वहीं शुरू हो जाएगी. The first self-esteem, to my best experience for a child, is you live the life the way you would want, you would expect your child to emulate. The child doesn't want role models of cricketers and Bollywood stars and statesmen of the country, dad and mom. So healthy living के शुरू करके उनकी self-esteem पे आने के लिए वो little bit of time. I remember, before I conclude for this moment, President Obama की अपनी किताब लिखी हुई है, बराक ओबामा की. उसमें उन्होंने साफ एक शब्द बड़ा अच्छा लिखा है, एक वाक्य है कि जब उनको नोबेल पीस प्राइज मिला था, he called up his daughters, I think Sasha and Malia, am I right? Hey, I got a Nobel Prize, Peace Prize. Yes, Dad, today is also Bo's birthday, the Portuguese water dog in the family. And what about a weekend to Hawaii? He said, oh, मैं तो नोबेल प्राइज की बात कर रहा था. आपको मिला है ना, हमारा कहाँ है टाइम. So I think parents and children need to first build up self-esteem by their needs. हम अपनी needs को celebrate करेंगे उनके सामने. For you and for them, your papa, they are not bothered whether you are CEO or you are the big boss of any IT company in the world or leading the country. For you, once you enter home, as ma'am said, वो moment ये dad हैं, ये mom हैं, ये मेरे अपने हैं, and हम इनके हैं. I think self-esteem वहीं से शुरू होता है. बड़ा costly पड़ जाता है self-esteem, बड़ा महंगा पड़ जाता है. Once the disorders, the diseases, mentality in the family, because to get back self-esteem is not possible from anywhere in the market. You can buy stents, you can buy endoscopies, but you can't buy self-esteem once it is lost. I think these are where the turning points lie. And for you, you said rightly, it would be good that exactly what you're practicing, you're the right person. The human resource principles, that patience, that tolerance, that better communication with the employees. Just मुझे तो लगता है कि कई HR के principles जो दफ्तरों के लिए बने हैं, वो great Indian family system के ही हैं. वो they come from there only. If we can just take those back home in the evening, I'm sure we communicate, we share, we care for each other a little better, and put them on the higher pedestal. बच्चे शायद ये नहीं चाहते हैं कि वो आप तक आएं, वो ये चाहते हैं कि आप मेरे तक आओ. Even if it is involving 4 steps down our liabilities.
Can I add a little bit to this? Just a little bit that I think most of us turn to the device when there's nothing else to do. Aruna Broota, he just went to Shimla with his students. In these adventure camps, no child they're not allowed the mobile phone. Not even one of them misses it. Not even one. I've done numerous surveys over the past 39 years. They don't miss it. Nahi allowed it. So you keep your child busy. Like Dr. Broota, I'm also the mother of grown-up children. When we meet on the weekends, on holidays, we do not watch TV. Time nahi hai. But what do? We sing. Some of us are very besura. I'm not. Some are. But we sing. We take out board games. It's such fun. कहाँ जाती है शाम 7-8 बजे बैठे कब 9 बज गया पता ही नहीं चला. So do things which excite the brain, which bring in dialogue. This cuts dialogue. You all sit on this. I've entered parties where I've seen people sitting on the same table but with their mobile in their hand. मैंने फोटो खींच के उनको सबकी शेयरिंग करी. They were all my friends. So क्या कर रहे हो साथ बैठे कुछ बात नहीं कर रहे. अरे you talked about me since I wasn't there. So do things to keep them away from devices. That's my only advice.
Well said.
इतना डिवाइड है as a party within the family. इतना डिवाइड है कि even music is divided. कि parents talk this language कि क्या तुम डैडे सुनते हो, तुम्हारा म्यूजिक आजकल का. So don't talk like that. Music is music. It's just that you have not been trained to enjoy that kind of music. So what happens with my eldest son, when he was a kid, तो ABBA album was being released. तो ABBA बज रहा था, तो I was telling my son, I said, बेटा ये गौड़ सारंग राग के ऊपर बेस्ड है और ये ऐसे ऑल्टरनेट स्वरों में लगता है, सा गा रे मा, इस तरह से लग रहा है. मम्मी आप अपना म्यूजिक दूर रखो प्लीज. Why? Because ब्रूटा साहब would always say, तुम ये क्या तुम लगा देते हो. मैंने कहा आबा जैसा मेलोडियस म्यूजिक, हाँ वो दूसरा कोई लगाता है, आपको नहीं अच्छा लगता, लेकिन उसको कहो मत. इतना कह दो, आहिस्ता कर दो वॉल्यूम, लेकिन कहो मत कि ये अच्छा है कि बुरा है. उसका क्या रिजल्ट होता था कि उन दिनों में विविध भारती चलता था, AIR चलता था, बसों में भी the drivers are using रेडियो. तो एक दिन टूटू वापस आकर मुझे कहता, मम्मी आज ना विविध भारती पे आपका राग तोड़ी बज रहा था. आपका, मैंने कहा वही मेरे पिताजी का था नहीं, सबका राग तोड़ी है. मैं तुम्हें अभी आबा का कोई गाना बता दूंगी जो राग तोड़ी पे है. तो then when he grew up, would you believe that जो वो गाने ढाई ढाई सुनता था, वो एक दिन बैठा और मैंने ब्रूटा साहब को पिंच किया. मैं कहा सुनो, देखो टूटू क्या सुन रहा है, चित्रा सिंह जगजीत सिंह. आप देखो तो कि अगर आप बच्चों को इस तरह से कंडेम नहीं करते, हिंदुस्तान पाकिस्तान नहीं बनाते, आप देखो हाउ दे वाइब विद यू. मैं लंच टाइम डिनर टाइम पे आप कह रहे थे इकट्ठे खाते हो या नहीं, लेकिन एक प्रथा शुरू करी कि भाई लंच टाइम डिनर टाइम में बच्चों का म्यूजिक लगाओ. मैं भी ये वर्ड बोली, बच्चों का. नाउ it could have meant chitty chitty bang bang, it could have meant Jack and Jill. नहीं, बच्चे तो grown up हैं. So each one played what they liked as their favorite song. और इस घटिया माँ को, दादी को ये नहीं पता था कि इसका फेवरेट सॉन्ग क्या है, इसका क्या है, इसका क्या है. इतना तो अपने बच्चों का पता होना चाहिए, पर इंटरेक्शन ही नहीं है. तो फिर इसीलिए इन्होंने कही कि लंच एंड डिनर कौन कौन साथ करता है. मैं कहती हूँ अगर दूसरे कमरे में भी कर रहे हो तो कम से कम उनसे बच्चों की चलने दो, while yours all the time. जब बच्चों का आप म्यूजिक फिर सुनने लगोगे, you will develop an ear for it. फिर आप तेरा मेरा नहीं करोगे. So if you get with each other, I think the HR rules are the same. If you identify yourself with your department, then it is not तेरा मेरा. तुम ऑपरेशंस वाले ऐसे हो, तुम लीगल सेल तुम्हारा ऐसा है, तुम ऐसे हो. वो कहता है तुम HR वाले ऐसे हो, तुम इंक्रीमेंट नहीं होने देते, तुम ये नहीं होने देते. तो ये तेरा मेरा खत्म हो जाएगा अगर इंटरैक्शन इम्प्रूव किया जाए. दैट इज वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट.
एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? The mic there, उधर है.
I am Dr. Pooja from the faculty in the North Cap University. Ma'am, a wonderful session. I would like to have one question regarding how to take care of the peer pressure which our kids usually face in their school, maybe class 6 or 7, in context of the digital world only. उसके पास phone है. You have taken all the detoxification in your home, but still the kid comes and say, "Mama, सबके पास है, सबके पास WhatsApp group है." How to take care of this matter?
I'll give the non-technical answer and then leave the experts for the technical answer. I'm telling you as a teacher, two things. One, why have you outsourced role modeling to peers? Why are you not the most important role model? कि मम्मा के पास जो है फोन है at a certain age for a certain purpose. जब मैं उस एज की होंगी मुझे भी मिल जाएगा. Why has the peer become more important than you? First question. Second, जो भी बोलता है सबके पास है, एक दफा थोड़ा समय निकाल के मैम से पूछ के हाफ डे लेके स्कूल में जाके पूछ लो किसके पास है, किसी के पास नहीं है. It begins with one. Nobody at one point class 7 no child has it. फिर एक शुरू करता I will tell my mother कि सबके पास है. वो मदर बेचारी गिल्ट से मरी हुई because she is working all day, buys a wretched iPhone or whatever. Now that kid is the king. उसके कहते कहते दूसरे को मिलता है, उसको बोलते बोलते नेक्स्ट बर्थडे पे 5 को मिल जाता है. And then because of one false spark, there is a fire of cell phones in the class. In actuality, any child who says everybody has it, एक बार check कर लो, किसी के पास नहीं है, honestly.
Also, recognizing, appreciating and motivating the way I am growing, accepting the fact that I will be different from my twin sister or brother also, forget the peers in the classroom. Aren't every group of children so different in a classroom for a teacher? So घर में भी 2 बच्चे वो twins क्यों ना हो, वो अलग होंगे ना. Peer pressure अगर एक common phenomena है, I think constantly any effort I make, academic, co-academic, co-scholastic, games, culture, music, art, gardening, the fact that every bit of my little effort, which is not result oriented, तुम यहाँ तक पहुँचोगे तो तालियाँ बजेंगी. The fact that I climbed a stair and I have got 4 pots in the house and इनका पालन पोषण मैं गमलों में कर रही हूँ, या फिर the interest I take in games outside with dad, without dad, वो अलग बात है. I think those little steps of good parenting, where forget about what you achieved over a period of time, which unfortunately became the goal of education, now unwinding हो रही है NEP के बाद. Process oriented education हो गया ना, अब आएगा उसका implementation होगा, not result oriented. Will 2 years from now 100 marks in 12th matter? 200 universities have already enrolled for CUET now. What will be the value of getting 100 out of 100 in 12th, you tell me? Till 2 years back, 100 out of 100 in psychology was the charm. तुमको 99 कैसे आ गए? LSR में admission नहीं मिलेगा. So the children favored, student favored changes are happening. Why not in the family? Why not in parents? Unwind the idea about achievement which is result oriented, achievement which is process oriented. Just like the HR principles. हम टारगेट करते हैं तुम इतनी दवाइयाँ सेल करोगे, X pharma industry बोलता है. The next day the guy actually commits suicide because in my annual stock taking I couldn't achieve and my promotions are gone. So the HR failed. We are failing parents? No, we don't want to. We want to have a driven where recognition and appreciation become a hallmark. That's what, sir, is the self-esteem. तुम 2 कदम चलो, 1 कदम चलो, हम तालियां बजाएंगे. और कोई नहीं बजाएगा ना, मम्मी पापा बजाएंगे. You tell me, sir, आप अगर छोटे बच्चे हम सब देख चुके हैं, एनुअल डे पे बच्चा अगर यहाँ पे परफॉर्म कर रहा है, it doesn't matter 1000 पेरेंट्स कौन है, वो अपनी आंखों से माँ बाप को ढूंढेगा उस ऑडियंस में. The fact that dad spared time to be in the auditorium on that day became a history in my life. So those little things probably would remove the peer pressure. Then you become the role model as ma'am. I think time tested है, आपने तो try किया हुआ है phenomena. And then peer educators are doing a wonderful job, ma'am. The student-led mental health and life skills program धीरे-धीरे हो रहे हैं. There are hundreds and thousands of schools which are participating. It is meant for positive peer pressure, and peer pressure need not be negative. You agree? There's so much goodness we can be pressuring each other for good projects, for good yes. So peer pressure, you appreciate those peers who are probably into developmental oriented life. जहाँ पे हम तुमको join कर लेंगे. Why the one who has pressure for me to smoke in a school campus, for me to do truancy and run away with the girlfriend? वो सब tendency होती है, and then the great dynamics come in. ईगो ईगो का balance तो वहीं शुरू होता है ना, with the super ego.
I would not even talk about ego and superego because ego and superego is very important for those little infants called parents. Start वहीं से होता, because when the father says कि मेरे दोस्त के बेटा जो है देखो उसके कितने मार्क्स आए तुम्हारे कि नहीं, he's teaching you to be comparative with your, that's where the peer pressure, concept of a peer pressure comes. So the first peer that feels pressurized is the father or the mother, and they put the pressure on you. And so you learn peer pressure from the parent. They are the youngest ones who talk about jealousy, and they say उसके पास देखो बच्चे उसके कहाँ हैं, अमेरिका सेटल्ड है. डॉक्टर ब्रूटा आपके तो बच्चे यहाँ इंडिया में ही बैठे हैं. मैं कहता थैंक गॉड, शुक्र करो. Why would I sado or kudo or feel jealous or envious of people who got their children in Harvard and all? So this jealousy and envy and these kind of things start from the parents. It starts from there. So कौन सा peer pressure आप बात कर रहे हैं? मैं आपको बताती हूँ. एक parent ने मेरे को phone किया, भाई कल ही मिलना है, इससे लेट टाइम मत देना हमें, we want to consult you. क्या हुआ? Events are not going to call, I am busy, blah blah blah. नहीं, मुझे कल किसी तरह करो. क्या हुआ? The child has to join school tomorrow. It will be her first day, one of the years I am talking about. And the child is sitting there, 4 साल की वो बच्ची, father दबक के ऐसे बैठा हुआ डर के मारे बच्ची से, and mother is sitting, ठीक है, nicely. तो I am asking the father, what is the issue? डर रहा है कि इसको बोलो. अच्छा, I am asking the mother, मैम कौन बोलेगा पहले कि what is the issue that you are visiting me? तो लड़की 4 साल की, पहले तो मुझे ही inferiority complex हुआ. 4 साल की मैं थी तो मैं तो stupid थी, idiot थी, retarded थी, I don't know क्या थी. In comparison to the 4 साल की now, right? वो लड़की कहती 4 साल की, you let me talk, I will tell you what is the issue. I have to join school tomorrow. It's going to be my first day, and I am not going to school tomorrow, come what may, if you don't buy me the new telephone which my father has. ये peer pressure पहले ये है. It's not the peer pressure in school, college, office, wherever. This is the first peer pressure here. So I asked the father, show me your phone, what is this? तो कहता है देखो I am in business, मेरी calls होती हैं, मेरी meetings record होती हैं, मुझे उसके conclusions निकालने होते हैं. So कल एक team आ रही है US से, वो they are going to visit my office. So I went and bought a new telephone कि वो लोग क्या कहेंगे कि ये originator है, chairman है और इसके पास इतना घटिया फोन है. Language देख लो वो क्या बोल रहा है. तो लड़की कहती है कि if I go to school and I don't have that kind of a phone, मेरी identity, मेरा job, मेरा status क्या होगा? Status. और ये तो मैं तो डर के बैठ गई कि यार ये तो 4 साल की है. Who has brought about this awareness and consciousness that I have to compete with my own dad? So I asked her, आपने stocks and shares करने? नहीं, that my dad does. I said he sees it from there. आपने अपना ऑफिस इंस्पेक्शन पे रखना है? नहीं, he sees his office from there. So I said, what are you going to do with it? I will see my class from there. I said, your class is not attached to this telephone. If you get a new one, it's not attached. I will get it. I said, you think your principal will allow you to? So what is it? Immaturity, entering into the digital world, which the father flaunts in terms of the model, in terms of the precision, in terms of being one of the US team that is coming. So everything begins at home. सबसे पहली पाठशाला आपका घर है. पहले उसको सुधारो, तब आगे जाना. Lastly, पता नहीं फिर मुझे चांस मिलेगा कि नहीं बोलने का. I know you want to ask a question. मैं एक बात शेयर करना चाहती हूँ सबसे. एक इंडियन फैमिली कनाडा से वापस आ गई, सिटीजनशिप वहाँ की लेके दिल्ली. So that family visited me. Dr. Broota, please advise us. मेरी 2 बेटियाँ हैं, तो मैं किस स्कूल में उनकी एडमिशन कराऊँ? किस स्कूल में? मैंने कहा पहला स्कूल तो आप ही हो. You decide what kind of environment you want. That is very, very important. तो मैंने पूछा आप वहाँ से माइग्रेट करके वापस इंडिया क्यों आए? लड़कियां हैं, बड़ी हो रही हैं, वहाँ का तो माहौल ही इतना खराब है, तो हम तो वापस आ गए। तो उसकी माँ कहती है, डॉक्टर ब्रूटा ये सब बातों में हमें मत बहलाओ, हमें बताओ कि स्कूल में डालें बच्चों को। मैं कहती हूँ डिसीजन आपका है। गवर्नमेंट स्कूल के बच्चे हिंदी में गाली देते हैं, पब्लिक स्कूल के बच्चे इंग्लिश में गाली देते हैं, इंटरनेशनल स्कूल के बच्चे जो हैं वो ईमेल पे गाली देते हैं। गाली देते हैं बच्चे, गाली देते हैं। मैंने कहा अभी तो आपके हस्बैंड ने बोला कि दोज कैनेडियंस आर द सन ऑफ बिच। मैंने कहा तो पहली गाली तो घर पे ही स्टार्ट हुई है। व्हाट आर यू सेइंग टू द स्कूल? वो स्कूल खराब है, उसके बच्चे गालियां देते हैं, स्मोक करते हैं, ड्रग्स लेते हैं। तो मैंने कहा कि बच्चों ने कहाँ से सीखी गालियां? अब बहन के मुझे क्या पता, अब बाप के मुझे क्या पता। गाली पे गाली वो दिए जा रहे हैं, बहन की गाली, बाप की गाली, फलाने की गाली। एक दिन एक आदमी हमारे कार के पीछे बहुत हॉर्न दे रहा था, आगे जगह नहीं थी हिलने की। तो ब्रूटा साहब ने कहा कि पागल का बच्चा है। मैं कहा यार उसके पापा तक क्यों जा रहे हो तुम? उसको क्या है वो पागल अगर तुम्हें गाली देने का मन हो रहा है? बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारी गालियां पेरेंट्स पे आती हैं। हैव द पेरेंट्स रियलाइज्ड कि ये गालियां पेरेंट्स के ऊपर क्यों बनी? हैव यू एवर अंडरस्टूड? व्हेन यू से उल्लू का पट्टा, पट्टा बच्चा किसका? उल्लू का। तो फादर को गाली लगी ना, क्यों भाई? इसलिए पेरेंट होना बड़ा सीरियस काम है, ऐसे मत बन जाना पेरेंट। इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड कौन सी कंपैरिजन, कौन सा ये, इट स्टार्ट्स एट होम। यस मैम, यू वर गोइंग टू आस्क अ क्वेश्चन।
Thank you so much for the wonderful talk, ma'am. I want to thank you. I'm here only for this amazing lineup of speakers. I've been your student and you were a big, big inspiration back then in my postgrad days. And I've been trained under you and under Sir when I picked up one of my first few jobs. You know, Sir was doing the NPSC, you know, adolescent education program. Sir would run for the you know, school counselors. So you know that is the time. So thank you so much for this enlightening session. I'm a parent also of a teen and a tween and working as a psychologist. So you know, question is coming from a multifaceted approach. I understand completely, and that's what in my capacity I would tell the parents when they come as you know, as clients, that validation is a precursor to building self-esteem, and that's what I have heard you say in various multiple ways. In the process of validation though, I feel sometimes, you know, both as educators and as parents, as people in, you know, well-wishers of the kids growing up, it keeps happening on and off that the resilience and the capacity for the children to soak in a critical feedback, you know, has been somewhere compromised. So I want to understand as an adult and as a professional, how do you help parents to draw that fine line of difference between, you know, giving a feedback, like you said, that, you know, even if it is a micro moment of spending time with the kid, you know, exclusive time, and it should be positive, you know, feedback, validation, you know, reinforcing good qualities. So how do you help discern that thin line of difference where the child's resilience also shouldn't be compromised, the ability to accept you know, critical feedback and work towards it?
What the question? I'll ask Dr. Nagpal. Give a very brief answer. I think we far outweighed our time. So, sir.
Absolutely. I think going by the field you're exploring in life yourself, and also you've been, you mentioned multifaceted work you're doing already, isn't it? That itself is a good role modeling for your child. Because parenting itself is so much complex and multifaceted. We just have to keep ourselves, I'll put it in 3 points, updated about the knowledge, which is information based, not only the techniques of going about the new age parenting. Are we aware that the human brain also defines the way we can be good parents? The way we are looking at foundational years now, NEP ने actually pedagogical neuroscience भी बीच में डाल दिया है. पहले 7 years average throughout the world, the brain का structure hardware पूरा बन चुका होता है. Trauma, noise, altercations, जो उस 7 साल 8 साल में हम देखते हैं, सुनते हैं, जिंदगी भर रहते हैं, basically. So it is time that the roots and the wings which you give your children and you can impart to others grow simultaneously. So the modern age of things around me, not just people, need to be balanced with the roots, the values which the families have stood for. We've given them a kite to fly, where I have started actually leaving the ground also. That is why I'm falling too fast. Kites के साथ हम भी उड़ना सिखा रहे हैं उनको, but with the feet being off the ground. That is where we are failing. The roots cannot be lost. And every country, you compare with China, you compare with Thailand, you tell me what values have they lost for themselves? Why are we losing them? Are we so confused? Are we somewhere in the bracket of trying to search for a new age social identity and therefore losing children that bargain? मुझे लग रहा है ये है. Why Finland education is an emulated factor, जहाँ पे 100th population होगी बच्चों की. You are 45 plus crores of children enrolling into systems. Why we have to emulate from a 1 crore population? Somewhere we are losing ourselves. So वो सवाल हमको अपने आप से पूछना होगा, both in terms of time, energy, investment. It's not difficult at all. It is complex because it is multifaceted. But within the 24-hour landscape, I think we just need to revisit some of the roots where those values are stuck up. And वो बातें सारी हो चुकी हैं. Since you were asking about how the fine line is to be distributed, I'm sure ma'am will add better words to it. I can only say that constant comprehensive communication. बच्चे generation gap नहीं महसूस कर रहे हैं, communication gap महसूस कर रहे हैं. और वो गलतियां, अगर हम गलतियां कहें या कमियां कहें, वो हमारी हैं. Intergenerational communication क्यों? What was the film Bagban all about? Why are they distant from the grandparents? Again, we are responsible. She is a grandparent and she is going to be a great grandparent also. Ma'am, with due respect, she knows how to keep them together. Because वो roots हैं, वो values हैं. बिखरने नहीं देना है. जैसे भी करें, लड़ भी लें, गालियाँ भी दे दें, प्यार भी करेंगे. I think वो values हम क्यों ना अपने दफ्तर में तो लागू कर रहे हैं. सर ने बताया. We ensure that 100 employees stick together, no? Why can't 4 people stick together in the family? The same principles apply there. So the fine line is constant communication about role responsibility through the most important dynamic change of childhood to adolescence. पहले 18 साल ही संभालने हैं आपको. उसके बाद बच्चे आपसे अपॉइंटमेंट नहीं लेंगे, ना आपको लेनी पड़ेगी उनसे. For that, I think it is very important we go back to our roots and constantly keep on revisiting them on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Lastly, I think what we have learned from children is, I don't need much of your time. Kids tell us a lot in workshops also. They just need validation of a moment, which I told you earlier. And that can be anything under the sky. It could be about my sexuality. वो कैल्विन हॉब्स का एक सीरीज में किसी पोस्टर पर दिखा था मेरे स्कूल में. A 13-year-old is doing some her normal playful activity in the house, and the mom says to herself, "अब time हो गया, इसको मुझे कुछ सिखाना चाहिए, puberty आ गई है." So the mom says, "Little darling, don't you think we need to discuss something about life, bodily changes?" And वो हेरा फेरी करके बता रही थी. So the girl says, "Yes, mom, I think we need to spend some time together. Yes, baby, can we go for a walk?" So वो कार्टून सीरीज है. बाहर वॉक पे जाते हैं. You know, sex and sexuality, they teach. And a lot of things need to be discussed. Yes, mom, come sit here. Tell me what you want to know. They are having an exposure of the world which is not discussed at home.
The real problem is somewhere else also. What he's saying is children are so well informed and they know much more than what we expect them that they will know or they will not know. But हमारी तरफ से as parents, जब हम validate करते हैं बच्चों को, तो हम बड़ी ambiguous language use करते हैं. किसी बच्चे ने कुछ अच्छा काम किया और हमने कह दिया वाह क्या बात है, और किसी बच्चे ने कुछ जरा सा कुछ गलत किया, अब तुम इतनी शान में मत आ जाओ कि तुम वहाँ बहुत अच्छा कर रहे थे तो तुम यहाँ पे तुम्हें लाइसेंस मिल गया. तो गिविंग a wrong signal to him or her. That's not fair. अच्छा, किसी वक्त as parents we say अब तुम बड़े हो गए, तो कहता है हाँ भाई मैं तो बड़ा हो गया. वो एक सलाह देता है, मम्मी चाची से मत बोला करो, चाची अच्छी नहीं है, राइट? अभी तुम इतने बड़े नहीं हुए कि तुम मुझे सलाह दोगे. तो कहते हैं यार मैं कितना बड़ा हूँ मुझे तो पता नहीं, अभी तो कह रही थी बड़े हो गए, अभी कह रही है तुम इतने बड़े नहीं हो. कितना बड़ा मुझे होना चाहिए in my giving advice to my parents. So we are using ambiguous language to our children. So when we validate our children, let's validate with reality. Let's remember that this is reality. I will say if my, even my son or my grandson used to come and tell me, Mom, I got 50% in my last tutorial. So I say, wow, yaar, I never realized you were so intelligent. He says, आपको दुख नहीं हुआ? मैं कहती क्यों दुख क्यों होगा? मुझे तो लगता था तुम एक खोई हुई शक्ल देते हो, तुम्हें दुनिया का कुछ पता ही नहीं है, पता नहीं कहाँ खोए रहते हो. कहता है, you have wrong opinions about me. मुझे सब पता है. I appreciated that. Why should I say कि तुम इतने बड़े ब्रूटा साहब के grandson हो? ब्रूटा साहब को बहुत होता है कि none of us know maths. He's a psychologist, but he knows so much of maths and statistics. कि बड़े वाले के जब नंबर नहीं आते थे वहीं कह देते थे मैं दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का इतना बड़ा प्रोफेसर और मेरा बच्चा ये, मतलब उसने ठेका ले रखा है तुम्हारी प्रोफेसरी का यार. तो you're born with a certain talent, with a certain S factor, special factor. We are not born with that S factor. How can we reach up to you? पर उसने जो किया उसको validate करो and stick to that validation. Don't be ambiguous about it. This is what I want to say.
Thank you so much for... we can take up the questions later, maybe backstage. Thank you. What an extensive, enriching and intellectually stimulating session. I'm sure the words of wisdom from eminent speakers have been a commendable treasure and have stimulated thought process each one of us present here exponentially. May I now request Dr. Jitendra Nagpal Ma'am, Deputy Dean, Students' Welfare, to kindly felicitate Dr. Aruna Broota Ma'am with a token of thanks on behalf of School of Management and Liberal Studies, the Nordcap University. Ma'am, please. I now request Dr. Sharda Vashisht Ma'am, HOD Multidisciplinary Department of Engineering, to felicitate Dr. Jitendra Nagpal Sir with a token of thanks on behalf of School of Management and Liberal Studies, the Nordcap University. I request Dr. Divyaba Ma'am, Head Center for Language Learning, to kindly felicitate Aditi Ma'am with a token of thanks and appreciation on behalf of School of Management and Liberal Studies, the Nordcap University. request my colleague Dr. Preeti Chawla ma'am, Program Coordinator and Area Chair Finance, School of Management and Liberal Studies, to propose the formal vote of thanks.
Wow, such an enlightening discussion. I must say that the parents would have found the useful insights and the inputs to manage their relationship with their children much better than what it was before, and tries to foster a relationship of trust and confidence both ways. I, Dr. Preeti Chawla, would like to thank Dr. Aruna Broota, Dr. Jitendra Nagpal sir, and Aditi Misra ma'am for their presence here and engaging such a wonderful session. This event would not have been possible without the constant guidance and support of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Aruna Broota ma'am, and our Honorable Governing Body members. I am also grateful to all the guests, teachers, counselors, principals, parents, students who have made to our campus today. I am extremely thankful to the various heads, deans, deputy deans, faculty and staff members for their presence today. I would like to invite the various parents over here. We have that wonderful opportunity. So the students are also joined with us, and I am grateful to our students who are present in the auditorium today and the student volunteers, and without their support this event would not have been possible. Last but not the least, I am thankful to the whole organizing committee, including Dr. Sona Vikas, our HOD, Commerce and Liberal Studies, Dr. Akshat, Dr. C, Dr. Ashima, Dr. Akasha, Soumya ma'am, and Mr. Vikas and Mr. Devaj. I would like to thank our IT team and our admin head, Mr. Adesh Sharma, Mr. Deepak Siddharthi and his whole team, and the hospitality team also. Now I would request all our esteemed guests to kindly proceed to cafeteria for the lunch. And now I request our students volunteers to kindly escort our guests. Thank you all for your presence. Have a good day.